and coffee.
Sure. Whatever helps you get through it. I am also trying caffeine. That's also my strategy today. All right. Nope. Stand by for notification onslaught.
Oh, let me mute. Going to mute.
All right.
At least vibrate.
Now, friends, who wants to recall what happened last week?
Road trip.
Jeez. There was so much.
I'll recall my part, so go ahead.
Yeah, that's fair. Tell us what happened to...
Or I'll just say, Rando finally got to see his father and uncle again, went to the mechanics, and was like a true Skyfire, where he was about to be blasted, but the thing, Rodimus Prime did not, or no, Axelrod did not blast him. And we got to work on a medieval 3D printer to make the new airship and some other items which we need.
It's cool.
Yes.
It's super cool.
Mm-hmm. And we have sending stones going between everybody. Well, the three main groups, so we can talk to each other.
Which is super useful, because we needed those last time. Because Team Cyrus, Wild, and Pemberley took a trip to Hunter's Vale to go talk to the king. We haven't been there yet. We stopped at an inn and found a changeling in our room. Who knew some shit about Gerard's parents. They'd been paid to impersonate Gerard's parents in a grave.
And the changeling's name was like Pike and
Lick? Owen and Pike.
Pike and Lick.
And you guys kept on showering him with money.
Yeah, we gave them
I gave him a lot of money.
They were both trying to flee, but we convinced them. Sorry.
When they were asked to or when they asked to play, they didn't know exactly who they were. I mean, they didn't know what they were doing in the greater scheme of things.
Yeah, Owen was not the boss or the creature behind the plan of this one, but they were going to bring Pike back because we just gave him a bunch of money, and they're hopefully going to lead us.
Cooperative informants are way more cooperative when they're bribed.
They're hopefully going to lead us to the person who paid them for that gig, which was apparently like way far away. And also we did a group phone call. We FaceTimed each other to discuss what was happening with that so that Zakar could be filled in on it and tell Jarok about that.
We did. That really was our first use of those sending stones, is literally bringing them all together and just being like, all right, hold on, group call. Why is this important? I can't help but feel like this is beyond my depth. Does anyone with a longer tenure here maybe perhaps know what these clues do? And thankfully, yes.
And Zakar.
And, yeah.
What happened to Zakar?
Well, Zakar got to have some very interesting conversations. First of which was getting to low-key march into Dhaka with Graves' head in tow. To then present Graves' head to to the powers that be. In this case, General Barak was the first to get to him. And General Barak was basically, you fucking what, mate? and then is basically just like, I literally don't understand how you do your job, but keep doing it. Now here, drink with me.
Yeah.
And then that was that. Promises of great celebration and rewards, and I don't know. I don't know what happens to people who, do a good job in positions of power, so I guess we'll find out. And then we got to send a bunch of refugees with some of the Black Ram vassals over to Black Ram so that they can just have a home. There's a lot more of them than we anticipated because of this something about a red dragon showing up at our doorstep. But I think they were overreacting. And we get to walk for a ways over to Watchets because that's where our ship is. In the interim of just walking about a day or two before we get to Watchets, I get this really weird stone call about how the other three found the imposters of Derork's parents and had somehow got them to talk.
Thanks to my gloves and plenty of money.
Okay. Yeah, gloves and money does it. So we get to have a very lovely conversation with changelings who broke some very serious laws and probably should not have disclosed anything that they did. But their poor life choices are not our problem. Our problem is Derork, because he needs to know that some changelings made some very poor life choices concerning his parents, who now are, well, not where they're supposed to be, which we already kind of knew. They may not even be dead in the first place. And that's going to be something that Derork and co just, and probably us follow up on once the errand list is done. And now I'm on a boat. And I'm going to be here for like 12 weeks.
It won't be quite that long, but it's gonna be a hot minute.
16 weeks.
You're
Tonight,
just on the prow screaming Scoria.
Yeah. This evening, we're gonna be covering quite a few weeks of events that are going to happen. Obviously, some of those events are going to be 2 sentences worth of narration. But this is the game we play. So let's walk it back to the 3 of you up north in Hunter's Vale after having spoken with Owen about this, and him basically informing you that their friend Pike has all the answers. It's later that same evening. And you are all following Owen through Hunter's Vale, cold, dark streets. And as Owen is lurking through a dockside warehouse, and there's some steps, there's a loose board pulled aside, clearly put there on purpose for this exact reason, sliding a stack of crates out of the way, and then you're all granted access into this space that is closed to the public, probably even during the day. When the lot of you do finally walk into line of sight of Pike, who is just hunkering down in here, they look up and see all of you there, and Pike kind of sighs and goes, "Now I remember why I keep you around, Owen. You're really good at making friends." Owen doesn't say anything right away. He just throws the bag of gold, the rather heavy bag of gold, just throws it directly into Pike's chest. It's heavy enough that Pike loses balance a little bit. And when Pike takes a moment to realize how much coin they are holding on to, there's some realization that goes over their face, and they look back at Owen, and Owen is like, "Yeah, and my new friends are interested in the Watchets job." Pike drops the gold pouch and goes, "You know, we don't talk about the Watchett's job." And Owen says, "Yeah, just like you don't tell me we were impersonating noblemen, a former chieftain." Pike is like, "Motherfuck, Owen, how much did you tell them?" And Owen says, "Well, I didn't tell him where the payment came from, because you never told me that either, but you're gonna tell them." Pike goes through the same steps that Owen went through earlier in the evening, where it's a lot of heavy sighing and pacing around and thinking this through.
The 5 stages of grief.
It's like that. It's like that.
By the way, I know you're going through a lot, but I did buy 5 dinners, and then I just give him a little doggy wrap, like, you know.
It's like, Pike, listen, we brought you Chipotle.
Garlic bread.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
Gar-
Chipotle?
Yeah.
No, it's garlic bread. It's
Um,
garlic bread and sketty.
yeah. Pike eventually takes a breath and says, "All right, you folks already know way more than you should." Hang on 1 second. I'm forgetting an important step.
Pictures?
Yeah, pictures.
Also,
Here's
unpause
Pike.
this game.
Unpause game.
Does the game need to be unpaused? Okay, yeah, I guess that's true. We can
For time.
Yeah.
Pike's rad looking too.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Pike. Now I had to move a window, so I lost my place. Pike says, "All right, what's the likelihood that we're walking out of this alive?"
100%. I look back at. I'm not like. No, I am quite serious. No, it's like 100%.
Unless you like, I don't know, you trip or fall or something, then yeah, then we can't really do anything. Well, actually,
No,
can.
we could actually do something about that.
Yeah. Points. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
We mean you no harm. We're just trying to solve a mystery for a friend.
It's the bigger guy that we're looking for. You're just stepping stones. No offense.
I think I'm gonna ask for Wild to make a persuasion check with advantage because you had help from your friends.
Oh, shit. This is Matt's fucking fat mouth coming in.
Hey man, we live and die by our decisions.
All right.
I like a 16. All right. I guess I'm gonna throw Owen up here as well because we can do that. Pike says, "All right, I can probably show you where we got paid, but it's a bit of a trek."
Where exactly?
Somewhere that doesn't have a name or much of a landmark. It's about a week's ride south of here, but we can cut 2 days off if we can boat across the sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we get it? Maybe we can probably get a boat. Rent a boat.
I mean, with
We'll probably rent a boat.
Coin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you drop a coin like that, like holy shit.
I'm not going to lie. I'm very tight with my purse personally, unless I find something incredibly interesting. Like this, and I pull out a rock. Some holes in it.
The whistle rock.
Oh, you know.
Oh, the game
You know,
master
the
knows.
Yeah. I totally forgot there was a rock. And then I'm just going like, but now is not the time. Now is not the time for that. But I make investments. Technically speaking, most of this was supposed to be in a bank. That's a whole other sad story I don't even want to get into. Sorry, Pike. I take some gold pieces and I wipe my eyes.
In a world without banknotes, you're left to scrape the tears from your eyes with gold coins.
Just
Oh.
shink, shink, shink.
Yeah.
Oh, the metal on metal.
It's
really...
it's an awful sound. Yeah.
Like, oh.
Pike is like, Owen, your new friends are weird. I am going to eat your paschetti and garlic bread, and then I'm going to go to sleep. And in the morning, we leave.
Ah, shit, yeah.
Should we be worry about talking to the king? We can come back. Never mind.
What? Yeah, it was quick detour. It's quick detour.
All right, fair enough.
All right. I'll go ahead and somebody who would have planned on this might have said, figure out how much passage on a boat is.
Oh God. You're right. I think it is at the end of equipment. Which God, if I remember correctly, like a taxi in a city is like a fucking
I don't know.
A single silver.
I don't keep my books near me, and this website does not cover services. It only covers do you want to buy a boat?
Yeah, exactly. Because who uses services?
Yeah, I'm going to say 10 gold to get you across the sound.
For like 5 bodies, that sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it's not much. It's like just a little fishing boat. Isn't here? They're like, yeah, we'll take you to the other side for 10 bucks. So just tell me who's paying that money so that we know who paid it.
Cyrus, you want to get this one?
I don't have money.
Sure, I'll pay for it.
I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, see, that's what I was worried about, because I know a couple of you are like, you know what? I don't spend money, so I guess I might as well drop all of it right here.
I have a bad habit of donating my money to Bifrost and or my church.
Right.
I think I put all of it into the All Temple, All Faiths little mini shrine last time we were there.
Right.
I can do that. I can do that. I got something.
I'm sorry, Wild.
I already paid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Sorry, Pemberley. Thank you.
Yeah, Pem's got
Thank you,
it.
Pem.
All right.
Thank you, Pem.
Passage on a boat, it's a few hours. It gets you to the other side of the sound. The big, just long bay that cuts into the land. And Hunter's Vale just sits on the northern side of it, so it's not having to ride a horse around it saves you a tremendous amount of time. So yeah, y'all leave the next morning, boat across, back on horses. And you catch the nearest trail and start riding south. Pike seems to at least know enough about the terrain to navigate without too much trouble. But they're also clearly, like, the longer you go, the harder it is for Pike to remember like exact details. But they're figuring it out as they go. They, for a few days, you're just being led through coniferous forests all along the west side of the continent, paths that are not often tread. There is a brief stop in a village that is so small and isolated that you have a hard time believing that it exists out here. It is called Driftwatch, just for the record. What?
I'm gonna add it to the map.
Yeah, it's got to go on the map. And it's at that point that Pike would warn you that it's only like one more day to your destination. But from here on out, like, there's no map, there's no landmarks. That they're just spitballing. This time of year, this particular locale is patchy with snow. But you don't have any trouble getting around, except for any misery that comes with riding a horse through the cold. But as you're going through these woods that don't have much in the way of trails, it's it's tricky pathfinding for a couple of days. But as time goes on, you would start to just passively notice that there are certain signs of life periodically, and sometimes you wonder if they are getting more, more common as you go, indicating that there is somebody out here. Maybe somebody that needs to visit Driftwatch once in a while. And the feeling eventually gets to the point where it's like we're getting closer to our destination, whatever it may be. And I want to give you guys an opportunity to roll some dice here, based on how you want to handle the approach. That is to say, if you want to roll stealth or perception, just depending on what your strategy is.
Can we
on this last leg of the journey?
Can we ask our guides what they recommend?
I think I'm gonna let you guys decide, like, if you want to have like a singular strategy, or if each one of you individually has a different idea in their head. But I'm gonna ask that you each pick like one skill that you want to utilize here.
I think if it's all right with you guys, Wild is gonna go with survival. He's definitely looking at like the lay of the land. You know what? I actually have a spell.
Mm-hmm.
What is it here? It is Commune with Nature. It's 5th level.
Yeah.
And what is it? I briefly become one with nature and know the knowledge of the surrounding land within 3 miles.
Oh yeah.
I instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of my choice. About anything about the terrain, bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or people, powerful celestial, fae, fiend, elemental, or undead, influence from other planes and buildings. For example, I could determine the location of powerful undead and the location of any nearby towns.
Okay. I think at this point, nearby towns is right out. But it would basically tell you, like, hey, kind of what you already know, which is like this is some dense, not often trodden coniferous forests, and but also you are getting close to the coast. You do know that like maybe 5 more hours of a ride west, and you would be at the edge of a rocky cliff.
I'll just like sniffs deeply of the trees.
Yeah.
It just goes, well, I don't smell anything out here, man.
Smells like pine.
It is fresh. That's clean. That's clean. You know what? That's clean. Damn.
That smells like some off the counter, bar soaps. Green packaging.
Green packaging.
Lots of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
The next one I would like to know: is there any influence from other planes?
No, I can say that with confidence.
And then, last but not least, are there any populations of? Can I say humanoids?
As per which part of this class feature?
Damn it!
I'm just curious. I want to understand what you're leveraging.
Prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples.
There you go.
Are there any prevalent peoples? I guess prevalence would be the key one.
Prevalent. Yeah, prevalent is a hard thing to admit to. I don't think there's anything prevalent out here except for the Yeah, there's a family of fucking birds over there. Whatever. What do you want me? There's fucking seagulls and shit out here. I don't know.
There is a very well-to-do beaver colony,
Yeah.
about 2.5 miles west.
Yeah, there's probably
Nice.
deer.
They're doing
out-
well.
Yeah, plenty of deer,
good for
some
them.
bears out here, that kind of shit. But
Wow, this is untapped potential. This is nice.
Good camping country.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
great
good
camping
man,
country.
man, we gotta come back out here.
Yep.
Sorry, I feel like I'm completely. I tried my best.
Yeah. I think to kind of like push you guys in the right direction, I would say Pike would probably be rolling a stealth check, and Owen would probably be rolling a perception check, probably.
I was just gonna ask if I could insight check them because my survival and stealth and perception are garbage. But I could watch them and see what it seems like
Sure,
they're doing.
if you wanna do like investigation or insight, that would be appropriate.
One thing that I'm trying again. It's still garbage.
Cool. All that
Great.
stuff I just said, that's free, Anne. You get that for free instead of you didn't
Nice.
have to roll to earn it.
Okay.
I guess I first ask Pike and Owen. I mean, what happened when you were in this neck of woods last time?
It was very brief. It was very late, and it was very dark. And I met somebody who tried their hardest to keep their identity hidden. And I felt as if I was in danger, but they paid me and they said never return. And here I am. So. So I'm a little nervous.
Don't worry. You got the three of us with you. So, I mean, and who knows? I mean, you could change. I mean, you could maybe, I don't know, look like somebody, disguise yourself as somebody else, and be like, "Hey, I've never been here before." Like, what the? Yeah, we must have gotten lost. Oh my goodness. But I mean, when we get closer, I'd be able to do a thing. So when we get within a mile of the place.
Well, I don't know exactly what it is that we're looking for. I just know that we're about in the right place. So, I mean, what's your trick?
I can do I'll do a kind of like an overlay. Sort of make it, do a little magic trick to make it seem like, the scenery hasn't been disturbed in any way.
Oh, okay.
But like, just walk on ahead and yeah.
Good to know for being tracked.
I don't know if we can do anything about the, well, yeah, probably have to do some other things about the noise, but yeah, at least appearance wise.
Couldn't hurt. I mean, I'll level with you. Like I said, we're not supposed to come back here, and I'm not 100% sure what we're looking for, or if it's even here. But I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Be careful, I guess.
Can I divine sense?
Sure.
Thing?
Remind me what that detects.
I believe it's Fey Fiend and Undead. Let me just.
Isn't it Celestials, Fey Fiend, Undead?
Yeah. Presence of strong evil registers in your senses like a noxious odor and powerful girls. Powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. I can't talk anymore. Until the end of my next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. It's not Fey. But it rules out 3 things.
Sorry, Mike's
and
off.
I know the type.
Yeah. Celestial Fiend Undead. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, detect magical girls.
Yep.
With that 17 survival, have I found like a bird, or perhaps like a small squirrel, or maybe even a deer?
I mean, sure. I'll say you
Right.
could find a seagull. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful seagull. All right. Like to speak with animals,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna be like, hey, hey, hey,
Hey.
hey,
Hey.
hey,
Hey.
hey, come here.
Hey. Hey. All,
Are you
all
hungry?
all you guys hear is quacking of this fucking seagull. Just. Yeah. But yeah. But Wild, you hear him going, hey, hey, hey.
Hey, you like food?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like food?
Yeah. I said that.
I like food. I got food. You want food?
I want food.
Here's food.
Food.
And then I pull out like a little bit of like a trail ration, and
Okay.
then I toss it over to him,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like, can I ask a favor?
It goes down and eats, and like as it's choking this thing down, it's like, what do you want?
Yeah. Good job. Get it on down there. Hold on.
No.
I toss it some more.
No.
Take your time. Take your time. Don't jump.
Mhm.
So anyway, I'm like looking for something. And do you notice anything weird around here? Often? Do you come around here a lot?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Wow, cool. Well, have you noticed anything remarkable?
He looks at all of you in turn and then says, yes.
Oh, besides us?
No.
Darn. Hey, if I give you another, like some more food, can I touch you real quick?
You want to touch and I get food?
You just look so soft.
Make a persuasion check. Unless you intend to like fucking gank this seagull, in which case roll a deception check.
No. All right, persuasion. Oh, come on, baby.
Okay. It's like
All right. All
I
right.
don't know, man.
All right. I'll promise it'll only be one finger. Okay?
One finger.
Yeah.
More food.
And then I hold out my pointer. I toss the food first,
Mhm.
and then I hold out my pointer finger, and I'm just like, just push your head against my finger whenever you're ready.
Yeah. And he kind of does it in like one motion. It's like touch the finger, kind of scoop down, grab the food, he's out.
All right, I cast B sense.
Mhm.
And I was just like, whoa, hey, wow, this is crazy.
You can see through the B-sides. Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Wow. So anyway, you guys. God, this is so stupid sounding.
Yeah.
Wild is just blind, deaf, and dumb as he just goes completely silent. As Wild just goes. Anyway, like, hey man, you could just like fly around, and like maybe we can take a quick look. You take a quick look, and then I'll give you the rest of that cracker.
Okay.
All right.
He starts hopping away. He's like, right now? You want me to go now?
Yeah.
He
Time's
takes,
actually, coming.
He takes off.
Okay. Guys, this is Matt. I'm really sorry. Wild is just completely like deactivated, and a bird flies away.
Yeah.
A bird flies away.
Yeah.
This is great. This is
yeah.
great.
I'm sorry.
I'm fairly certain Speak with Animals is my favorite spell in Dungeons and Dragons. Like as a dungeon master, like it gives me the opportunity to invent the most ridiculous character that you will never meet again ever for the rest of this campaign. Anyway, yeah, you are seeing and hearing what the seagull sees. He takes off into the woods. He kind of he kind of just like sticks under the tree line for a bit. You kind of see more of the same from above. And he goes around in a circle, and you catch maybe sight of some other birds or a squirrel, and maybe there's a deer over there. He spends about a minute circling, taking a big wide berth, and then he comes back.
Wait a minute.
And then he kind of looks at you, and he's like, "All right, cracker."
Hold on a minute. I said 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Come on. We have a whole other 9 minutes.
All right, I'm going to level with you. What's a minute?
Shit. Crap.
Is there more? You're not pulling my leg, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. Hold on.
Because that could have been like 20 minutes, and I wouldn't know.
Okay, so hold on a minute. This is going to be really difficult. You need to fly. I'm going to count. Don't interrupt my counting, or else I'm going to have to start over again. And then I will reimburse you, but it'll just add more time, and it'll be longer. Okay.
Well, how do I know when?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to start counting, and when I get to a high enough number, we're going to be done, and then you're going to come back.
You gonna yell so I can hear you?
What? Yeah.
All right. The seagull takes off again.
All right.
And he just keeps circling. I mean, how far can the? Yeah, you just wanted him to go around.
God,
in circles, right?
I don't know how far B-Sense could go.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't.
It says I'm just with this guy.
Yeah, you're just with this guy, and he just goes.
With the bit of B-Sense, I'm just like, no, keep going in like bigger and bigger arcs.
Okay. Yeah, he does so. He takes. I mean, bigger arcs mean more time, but you could probably get. You can probably get 5 or 6, for full turns in there.
And eventually, once my spell wears off, and I back into my body.
I think so. Before that, I'm gonna have you make another perception check while we're up here.
All right. Oh.
Maybe multiple perception checks for each circle.
No.
No. Oh, damn it. I think I only get advantage in perception checks if it is against the spells. Oh, damn it. I rolled it in. No.
It's fine. We'll take
the first one.
Well, they both kind of suck, right?
Do they?
Yeah, well, first one was an 8.
14.
Plus 6.
Yeah, 8 plus 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 plus 6, 14.
All right, it's okay.
Eh.
I'm gonna say, since you are proficient in survival, I'll be nice to you. I think as somebody who is proficient in survival, something that you are at least familiar with is when someone sets up like a trap in the woods. On one of these like last, probably in like the last circle that this seagull makes. You do catch sight of what is, you almost miss it, but you catch a branch that has been bent, and has like a net hanging from it, as if they've made some kind of trap device.
Okay.
Just hanging off of a tree.
Okay. Once it comes back,
Mm-hmm.
God, I just go, damn it, man! I really don't know how I'm gonna get back in touch with that seagull. Well, oh well. I leave the ration on the rock,
Okay.
and I turn back to my friends.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, guys. What have you been doing for 10 minutes?
Watching you and being confused.
Oh, right.
Freaking out. I thought your soul was taken by a seagull.
Oh, no, that was... I never got his name. Oh. Like ships in the night. Needless to say. All right, so, guys, it's really weird. There's, like, no settlements out here. There's nothing that I can sense. I talked to a seagull. That was the squawking. Like it's pristine. The only thing I happen to catch is I think they might be in the trees, because I seen a net in a tree, like a broken branch. But man, they're good.
No, I mean, fact that them, I mean, net usually means trapped, which usually means that whatever it is nearby, right? Um,
That is
Somebody
true.
have said it.
I mean, that's what I would. That's what I would have done. I did. Would have done. Would have done. Just wait when I was back in the swamp.
Right?
Mhm.
That's again what I was thinking is maybe some illusions.
Well, we can. I'll probably. We could. When we get close, I mean, I could probably. Oh no! Do I have? Do I have it? Yeah, I could do. Maybe detect magic and see if. Just recast that. See if there's anything.
You want to cast
Anything of the
detect magic?
Yeah.
Okay. What
get-
is the range on that?
Oh, not very far. 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay.
When we get close. When
Does
we
it-
get close to the.
Yeah, okay. You want to wait until you get closer to the trap then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It lasts about 10 minutes.
Wait. Can you cast detect magic on me?
Yes,
Would-
yes.
Can you wait a minute? Can you cast detect magic on a seagull?
Uh,
I might be able to talk. I might be able to talk to a friend. I have a previous report. I'm saying.
well, I mean, it's detect magic within 30 feet of me, and that seagull's long gone.
That is true. That is true. Godspeed, you brave seagull.
I mean, if you really, really want to, I could try to scry on that seagull, but I don't think I'm very familiar with it.
No. I just point the way where it's just like that over there is where I saw the net. Because deeper in, and then I look at our not our changeling friends, and I just go, bike, right about over here, yeah, a little bit farther.
You're asking me?
Just in case.
Pike at this point kind of like gets down, like moving very slowly and being as vigilant as possible, not to get caught in a trap themselves. Starts to move in that direction, and Owen kind of follows suit.
I do have danger sense, so we'll be willing.
What's danger sense do?
Oh, danger sense is really fun. I gain an uncanny sense when things nearby hold on, aren't fucking the way they should be. Oh, sorry. I have advantage on dex saves against effects that I can see or hear, as long as I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Okay,
It doesn't give that much benefit.
it's something.
It's-
Yeah. Are you guys gonna follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if
You know what
as
else?
we do, I'm gonna detect, or I'm going to, or I'll just sit down and cast detect.
Okay. You want to wait till you get within range of the trap?
Yeah.
Okay. So while you have to point out to them, like, where is this trap? And you do as you get closer to it. It's another 100 feet out or something like that.
The seagull was here. I was there.
And you do. It's pretty easy to point out because the branch in question is about 10 feet up on the tree. And I'll let any of you can make a perception or investigation check if you want.
I'm
Uh,
happy.
I have just learned that I can make perception checks at advantage because of the
Mhm.
robe of eyes. Thanks, Wild.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make a survival check to fucking climb up the tree.
Sure. You're gonna start climbing the tree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm gonna get like one or two little bits up, and then I'm gonna look and wait for my compatriots and just be like, wait a minute. It's only 30 feet. Can you? Yeah. What do you see?
Oh, also, Dungeon Master.
Mhm.
I can see invisible creatures and objects, as well as into the ethereal plane out to a range of 120 feet. If that's important.
Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna
Just-
forget.
yeah,
I'm gonna
just
forget that.
FYI.
I'm gonna forget that when that's important.
Yeah.
Robe of eyes.
So
Just making sure it's not relevant in this scenario.
okay. Good to know. Okay. I got a lot of things to cover with these
Okay.
last dice rolls. So first of all, when you are in range, you cast Detect Magic, Pemberley. You do not detect any magic in or around the trap that is pointed out, except when Wild starts climbing the tree to examine this branch, and he definitely has magic stuff on him. Pike and Owen are a little concerned that you're approaching the branch so readily, and they both like crouch behind a fallen log, just in an effort to like, I don't know what's going on here, but I really want to break line of sight. Any of you that is not Wild can feel free to join them.
I'm going. Yeah. I'll do that and cast minor illusion to make the log look bigger,
Okay, nice.
and then
It's a 2-person log. You enlarge it to a
Yeah,
3-person log.
make it a 5-person log. Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's great.
Good shit. All right, Cyrus. Not even attempting to be stealthy. Are you going to also hide behind the log, or are you just elsewhere?
I'll try it.
Okay,
My stealth is not great.
I'm gonna say that like you are distracted, because you made a perception check. What you see now that this trap has been pointed out to you is that there is basically like a tripwire to activate this thing.
Mhm.
It's at the same level. It's like 10 feet off the ground, and it wraps around a couple of trees. It makes like almost like a U shape by wrapping around like 3 other trees. So imagine like if you're looking at it top down, imagine like string goes down, string goes to the side, string goes back up, and that's where the trap is. So there's it's
Okay.
kind of made this closed loop. But yeah, it's like 10 feet off the ground, which is a weird place for a tripwire.
Yeah,
Also,
that's all.
also because you rolled a really good perception check, you would be the first to hear the sound of very loud footsteps, like just in the distance, but kind of like you hear it like come and then go. Like it gets nearer to you guys and then gets quieter again.
Weird. I'll just try to like whisper to my comrades, like, "Hey, I think I can see where the mechanism is for the tripwire, but that's weird that it's so tall. Also, does anybody hear that? Anybody else hear the weird sounds, weird footsteps? Just me?
I only hear the wind. Cyrus, the wind. It's blowing up here.
You guys do start to hear it again, like, and then you hear what sounds like the shifting of soil or rock, like a soft rumble.
I climb down from my tree.
You're like, okay, never mind, getting down.
Also, that was a good rumble sound you made, Chris.
I'm helped out by mediocre sound equipment.
Oh,
It's an effective way to make make noise.
no DM should be without.
Yeah. So Wild, you come down. You doing anything at ground level, or what's the strategy?
I look back over at the 5-person log,
Mhm.
and I just go, "They're gonna be expecting someone." And I stand out in the middle, and
What? Really?
God, are there any like mushrooms?
When you say
Mushrooms around?
when you say the middle,
I'm not going to crouch behind the thing unless, and then I look over. He goes, "Oh, are you beckoning me?" Yeah.
That's the mage that beckons you.
the mage beckons.
Oh, Wild puts down the mushroom and walks.
Okay. Cyrus, you hiding or?
Oh boy, I'll try. I am
Okay.
a large frog with glowing eyes.
Yeah.
In the dark.
Any of you who are who haven't yet and are taking cover can make a stealth check.
I close my eyes.
Yep. That's good. Okay. Also very good. Wild, have you stealthed?
I did. I got a 15.
Okay, I'll take it. You guys altogether, you guys rolled really well on stealth. So I'm gonna say for what happens next, you guys are unseen, crouching behind the artificially lengthened log. After a minute, like you hear the rumbling, and it rumbles a little bit, and it gets a little bit louder, and then you start to hear the footsteps again. Clearly, somebody who is not trying to be quiet. Just like plodding through the dirt. And
Like they're. Does it sound like they're running away from something?
it sounds like they're running, certainly.
All right.
But you see the figure that is running. They're approaching from, if you can imagine this U-shaped tripwire. They're moving. They're coming in from the mouth. The direction where it's where there is no tripwire. And they are sprinting. And as they get closer, the person looks like this.
Oh, okay.
And she is jamming. She is running as fast as she can, with great determination. And as she gets closer to you guys, the rumbling starts to get louder.
She is running for something. Does it seem like she knows the tripwire is there?
Make an insight check.
Yeah. Why did I close that?
Nice.
Accuracy.
This woman has a plan.
Okay.
And she is convinced that it will work.
All right.
So if nobody interrupts,
I guess.
she runs.
Yeah.
You hear the rumbling gets louder and it gets louder and it gets louder, and she runs right into the middle of this clearing, just as the rumbling, crescendos, to the point that you start to feel the ground shaking under you. She gets to the middle of this clearing, and she puts a step on a rock and leaps into the air and grabs the tripwire. As she does, a creature bursts out of the soil in the middle of this clearing.
Oh, snap.
Looks like a big beetle, like a beetle the size of like a rhinoceros. It flies into the air right where she was standing a moment ago, when the net swings around and grabs it out of the air.
Nice.
and it lands in the dirt, like just stuck in this net, and starts writhing around.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that.
and kind of just for a second, you guys are just watching this thing writhe on the ground.
I just kind of look at two companions, being like, "Should we stand up?"
Owen's just like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Nicest lady.
Yeah, Pike. Is that them?
I didn't see her face at the. A dagger goes around Pike's neck,
Oh,
and she's
Oh,
just there. She's just behind Pike.
did she stab Pike or
Nope.
or
Nope, just hooked
Okay.
just hooked a dagger around his throat.
ah?
Wow, you're quick.
That was a very impressive catch.
Yeah, and you're trespassing.
We have questions for someone here. We're hoping you're her.
Yeah, and
Them.
and the lady kind of like backs up and pulls Pike with her. You know, it kind of keeping a hostage. And
Yeah,
Pike-
I cast scatter.
Scatter.
Yep.
Okay. What do I need to know about scatter?
The air quivers around you, and 5 creatures of your choice you can see within range. An unwilling creature, an unwilling creature must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw to resist the spell. You can teleport each affected target to an unoccupied space that you can see within 120 feet of you. That space must be on the ground or on the floor. So I'm casting it on Pike so that
They can
so that
barely-
they'll be teleported behind us.
Okay. And it hits how many targets?
It can be up to 5, but I'm just hitting Pike.
Okay, you want to get Pike out of range. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna...
And I'd like to put a hand on Owen and push them behind my back.
Yeah. Oh, Owen wants no part of this. He's like, yeah, I'll be back here. I'm gonna say Pike probably is not even like, it never occurs to Pike to even try to resist the spell. So I'm gonna say that works, and Pike just disappears out of her grip, and she kind of, the lady looks annoyed for a second, and I was like, ugh. And then she takes a moment to look over at the writhing creature, and she's like, hang on. Walks over, puts a knife in it until it stops moving.
If you want, you could take me hostage.
What?
How this works wild.
No, it's okay.
We do come on a mission of, well, I don't know if this is a mission of peace, but we really just want to talk.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. Pike, you want to explain yourself? And Pike goes, no. There was a lot of money involved, and as you can see, they're very large and intimidating.
We happen to be friends of, and then I look over at Cyrus, and I'm like, name?
The Rourke,
The Rourke.
whose last name I totally know. The Rourke.
I'm going to give you a freebie because you definitely know his last name is Uzod.
Uzod, thank you. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
The Rourke Uzod.
Only because he's one of your best friends.
Son of the previous chieftain of Watchit, and a human woman whose name I also probably know, but I forget.
That sounds poorly rehearsed.
We just want to know what happened. He wants to know what happened to his parents.
Yeah. She looks down at the creature for a second. She goes, you can wait. She kind of relaxes a bit. She takes a couple steps closer to you guys. She throws a dagger at the ground in front of Pike. And she goes, next time I won't wait for you to be saved by magic.
Dang.
Now get the fuck out of here. And Pike's like, say no more. And slaps Owen on the shoulder, and they start walking away.
Thank you.
Owen, come here.
Nope. Sorry, I'm leaving. Sorry. Go. Bye, Wild. It's been real.
Where's my money?
Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm putting this money away. Oops, it fell on the ground.
Good luck.
Okay.
I didn't even want them to say that was really just more of a parting gift. I picked the gold back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, this lady picks her dagger back up and goes, "So how do you know him?
He's our friend.
Elaborate."
We traveled with him for some time. Righting wrongs and fighting injustice. We were adventurers. We are adventurers.
Well, I never adventured with him. It was mostly Cyrus.
It's true.
I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Oh, he's my friend. And he... Actually, no, but we've met. Haven't you met? Well, haven't you met?
I've met him. Yeah, I've met
Yeah,
him. I
okay.
didn't adventure with him. This is mostly, doing a friend a solid kind of thing.
All right, thank you. Good.
I'm not gonna. Listen, lady, just between you and me, I understand wanting to be out here. It's great, but I mean, come on. If you're his mom or whatever, you should give him a wink and a nudge.
Oh,
I don't.
yeah.
I've never even had a mom, but they sound pretty nice. A mom came over and stole cinnamon from us.
Was that nice?
So no, but it's pretty powerful.
It is powerful. We still
Well,
have yet to know if Cinnamon's happy about that or not.
All right. Everybody, shut up. She takes a long sigh and she's like, "All right, come with me." She starts walking.
Okay. Oh, we should introduce ourselves. I'm Cyrus Brightly. This is Wild. This is Pemberley Dreadstench.
Here, let me pick up your beetle. And then I pick up the
beetle. What should we address you as?
She doesn't slow down, and it's probably 10 whole seconds of silence before she's like, "I am Elaine Uzad."
It is his mom. Sorry.
No, I know that was Anne, but God, I wish that was Cyrus.
I can totally see the fan art of Cyrus being like, "Fuck!
Oh my God!"
Cyrus turning around, stars and eyes, two thumbs up at Wild, like, shit, you were right.
It has been revealed.
Elaine Uzad.
Anyway, so Elaine leads you through the woods a little bit longer, maybe another, not very long, like 20, 30 minutes, something like that. You eventually reach some rocky cliffs along the coast. There's a cliff here. It probably goes down like 300 feet down to the ocean, and then after that, it's all seas. You follow a couple of switchbacks that go down the cliffs. There's a wooden guardrail that's been built along the path. It goes on for a bit, and eventually, you reach along the cliffs. You reach a space where there's like a cave, in the rock, with a neighboring ledge that hangs out. The ledge probably hangs out like 10 feet. It's got a nice guardrail around it. It looks like it was put here deliberately, like somebody could stand here and have a great view of the ocean. The cave itself goes into the cliff about 30 feet, not far enough back that it would be like restrictively dark or anything like that. It's also a really big, it's a pretty big chamber. The ceiling of it's probably 40 feet up or something. And inside this little cave that's been cut out, it seems like somebody has just built a cabin directly into the rock. Like all along this stone wall in the back of the cave, there's a wooden door here, like cottage windows. There's a little chimney hanging out the front that's venting smoke out into the cave. And Elaine doesn't say anything. She just approaches. She opens the door. She lets herself in. And you're all invited inside. Inside there's it's
outside.
Inside it's a big room. It's just a big room. It's about probably 50 square feet, 10-foot high ceiling, very cozily furnished, considering that all the wall, floor, ceiling are just granite. There's a fireplace on one wall, keeping this place warm. There's a wooden table and a couple of chairs next to a cooking stove. There's a wardrobe here. There's a nice bed in the corner. Go on.
Is it a bed big enough for two people or like one person?
It's a bed, yeah.
Yeah.
And
big enough for one, yes, Cyrus.
Without even getting comfortable in this room, Elaine just kind of walks into the room and she says, "Darling, we have guests." From you, first of all, you hear a voice be like, "Guests?" And then from behind a cabinet, this brawny orc steps out.
Oh my god, I love him.
And he's like, "Ha ha! What a wondrous surprise! McGob welcomes you into his home. What brings you to these secluded parts?" And Elaine kind of sighs and goes, "Darling, calm down. You know exactly what they're doing here." And McGob's jovial manner extinguishes itself. He deflates like a balloon and kind of sighs and goes, "My dear, why don't you make us some tea? We can at least still be cordial." And he has a seat at the table. The table's not very big. There's only one other chair.
I'll stand. Or no, I'll sit on the ground.
This is fine.
I put Cyrus on the chair,
What?
and then I politely do crisscross applesauce, and then have a very loud like.
We're definitely gonna sit.
Bam, if you want, you could sit on my knee.
Aw.
Okay, yeah, I'll do. I'll sit on Wild Knee.
Aw.
Did you get taller?
Actually, I did. I think by about 2 inches. Yeah.
How old is Pemberley again? Is she like a young goblin? I forget.
She's kind of like in her. She'd be the equivalent of like a human in her like late teens, early 20s, but like
okay.
But she's like 13, chronologically 13.
Okay.
Yeah, Elaine starts making some tea. McGob kind of looks like he's stealing himself a bit, and
I'm just doing.
He tries to put on a friendly smile again, and he's like, "So, what's the? It couldn't have been easy getting here."
Oh, it was a bit of a trip. It's a lovely house you have here.
Ah, why, thank you. McGob put in a great deal of work in this place.
I could see that.
Very interesting wildlife too.
Indeed.
Real stupid birds. They never, close on a deal. They always accept that there will be something later. And while, yes, I was trying to be nice, they should have, garnered it first.
So, this is probably, probably rude to ask, but like, why are you here and not where your son is looking for you guys and misses you and is kind of traumatized that you're not there. Why are you here?
Elaine cuts in and is like, it was done on purpose.
I imagine it seemed like you'd put a lot of thought into faking your deaths and all that. Good job. Made him very sad.
You're very clever to have put that all together.
Oh, no. Well, the
I hold up my gloves.
the gloves helped.
Hold up my
Elaine kind of
Yeah.
leans into McGob as she's putting tea down, and she's like, they say they're friends of his. And McGob's like, ha! Then he is chosen well.
We hope so. We like to think so. Also, did you know someone named Murtaugh in life? When they were alive, he was apparently buried next to you, or next to where you're
Murtaugh.
supposed to be buried.
I do indeed. An old chieftain from before the days of Watchits as a city.
Oh, so you didn't know him like personally? You just knew of him.
No. That was probably a century or more ago.
Oh,
Before Watchits was the great city that it was now, it was tribal land, when the kingdom of Dhaka was a simpler place.
he's like haunting some gauntlets that your son previously owned and are now being modeled very nicely by our friend Wild here.
I was actually gonna say specifically these gauntlets, point at Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot tell you how robotic and like just full back of the hand, like fingers kind of like splayed out,
Yeah.
just like glove, like PNG.
Kimberly Vanna White's it.
Yeah.
Yep. It would behold.
They're not saying anything right now, but he's there. He's cooking
Yeah.
up with something. He's cooking up with something.
You hear that, dear? We were bested by a pair of gloves.
And a ghost.
Yeah, you very much. Well, I mean, animate
Look.
object, whatever.
If
mean, if
there's sorry.
No. Well, I mean, you say bested. Like, why'd you leave in the first place?
Are you in danger?
Danger? No. Oh, not anymore. Not really. He takes his glasses off. Kind of gets a little sullen a little bit. McGob's reasons are simple. McGob did not wish to be chieftain anymore. It seemed a proud station in my youth, but McGob grew weary of it. McGob only wished to lead a peaceful life, but that is not a luxury that the position afforded.
Well, I
Can
mean,
you
can't
not?
you?
Sorry.
No, you first. Yeah.
Can't you? Can you just like retire, or bequeath the station in a way that doesn't involve you dramatically faking your death?
Elaine,
Cyrus, orcs, come on.
Elaine says Orcish tradition wouldn't allow for a chieftain to just hand off leadership. When you're chieftain,
Couldn't
you're
you-
chieftain until death.
Can't you? But you're the chieftain. Can't you change the rules? Or you were.
It's more cultural than anything, an archaic tradition that will go out of style in time, but not soon enough for us. He looks at Elaine, and she says, "We would have been hunted down and our family line shamed. It would have prevented Durark from ever taking power, and it would have doomed all of us. If they believed we were already dead, then succession could have taken effect."
Then couldn't you have told him? I mean, I don't even know this door. I don't even know your son, but I mean that's fucked up.
For that
Yes.
matter, you.
Yes, it is.
No. You would throw him.
Go ahead.
Sorry. You'd throw him to the same fate, wouldn't you? Just pass it on to somebody else to if they. What if Darok didn't want to be the chief?
Oh, he does. I know my son.
I mean,
yeah,
he's a great.
yeah.
He's a great chief. For the record, he's doing a good job.
Listen.
Though I think he's kind of bored.
We suspected it would not be so easy. McGob knew there were others vying for his position. But the people of Watchits value strength, and so I gave it to them. Darok had everything he needed to secure the artifact Kinspike and rally the people. McGob had no doubt in his son's capabilities. And Elaine kind of rubs his shoulder and is like, and you were right.
That's very fair.
We have
With
like
his kingdom secured... Oh, go ahead, Cyrus.
No, you were talking. Go for it.
With his kingdom secured, don't you think now might be a reasonable time to slyly slip to him some information?
McGob gets out of his chair so fast that it falls over. And he goes, no! No one can know. Please. There's too much at stake. There's
not even him.
There's nothing McGob wants more than to see his son again, but it would ruin everything. He would be lynched in the streets if word ever got out.
We have a reoccurring problem with friends with pretend dead relatives. And, like, I don't like it. It's always terrible. What the heck?
I don't know. I only have like vague brothers and sisters, and that's only generally speaking. I don't even.
My parents are alive and well, and they're definitely not pretending to be dead.
Hey, that's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, good for you, Cyrus, but...
Oh, sorry, not to brag, just, I apologize. This is very sad.
Elaine just kind of leans into her husband and is like, yeah, it is.
Do you have anything we could bring him to give him some comfort or resolution about what has happened to you? Because I think the worst thing is just not knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but we have accidentally spoiled that you were not dead.
There's that also, yeah.
I don't mean to, but I feel like you should. We figured it out that good. Again, Ghost, Gauntlets, Changeling, whole thing. You did a real good job. You did a real good job. We didn't do it soon.
Elaine, in a very non-aggressive manner, is just like, the only way to ensure his safety is to keep the secret. Don't. If you think he can't keep the secret, then it's not worth it.
You should give him the choice. Darok should get to choose his own fate.
McGob kind of shakes his head, and you can see him actually tearing up a little bit. And he's like, I beg of you, forget all that you've heard today.
Red Cyrus.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
What would you have us tell him? Oh, sorry.
I mean, I mean, I don't know if the cat's out of the proverbial bag, but I mean, I think due to the conference call, I think some breadcrumbs have been accidentally tossed on the ground, as it were. Maybe
it's true.
Could be.
Not
Oh.
only that. Oh, sorry, Pem. Were you done?
Yeah.
Not only that, we gotta. All right. Third thing. If you ever want to talk to him, time for that is running low.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, right.
And I
There's a
don't
whole
mean
other
that
thing.
in a general way.
Or like a threat. No,
Or a
this
threat.
is yeah.
That we have been in touch with some multiplanar people, and gods you would call them.
Yes, gods. Literally gods.
Something bad is coming for Eos. Something very, very bad.
We have a
And
calamity.
yeah, how do you say it?
A calamity. It's on our doorstep.
Boom. Calamity.
Do you ever want to see him again? Or are you just gonna hide here for the rest of your lives? Is
Well,
that
yeah,
even a life?
No. This place is great. This place is great. Don't get me wrong. This reminds me a lot of home. But
It's nice.
you have a wonderful house.
But it'd be nice if you could choose to be here and not forced to.
Elaine says we did choose to be here.
It's the whole point.
Listen,
Could you-
we can't make you do anything. Just understand the risks of what you're saying.
Who would be a threat for Dork?
Everyone.
I mean, we've
Th-
fought
this
and I
is-
think
th-
killed
this is-
some of the people that were threats to him before.
This is
This is Ed talking.
This is the kind of information that could ruin his leadership in a way that would there would be no allies left for him in Watchets.
Wild nods. When Orcish leadership especially relies on an unbroken faith in the higher up, the chief is always right. And they usually don't do any wrong.
Okay, but what if, say, the king of the orcs changed the rule?
Cyrus,
Did-
you're talking about civil war. Now. At this time.
Yeah, it's a bad time.
Yeah.
How about this? If in... Look at the calendar real quick. 6 months?
4 months? 6 months, yeah.
4 months. Ish. If about that time goes by, and we're still here, and, give it a thought.
McGob always likes to think that there is a time when he can see his son again. McGob will think on this. It may be sooner than later. But not right now.
Fair enough.
Can we give you this token of friendship in the form of a friendship coin before we go?
One's on this one.
McGob's like, what is this?
There's just little things I hand out to everybody I meet. I carved them when I was having a rough time as kind of like a penance for my god. This one looks like an owl bear.
He picks up this token and looks at it and goes, "Ha ha! It is an owlbear. Look at that."
It's supposed.
He shows it to Elaine. She's like, "Look at that." Adorable.
It's supposed to look like Bahamut, but I was blind. Well, I'm still blind, but it's okay.
We will
Just-
accept this token.
Okay.
We'll I look over to my compatriots and I just say, I don't think we're here to drag you back to society. Knowing you're alive is good enough, and if once we clear up some stuff, feel our compatriot is ready, maybe we'll tell him if you take too long. But otherwise, I think it should be up to you. Yeah. I look over at Cyrus and just kind of shrug.
It's your choice, but you should also let him have a choice in his life. This is something that has weighed heavily on his heart.
You already know you're. Oh, sorry, Pim.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. That was it.
Maybe warn them about the whole Baron who's besties with their son too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just trying to be like, we know we're friends with the king of the orcs, and also we have non-orc friends who are
We are
barons.
not friends with the kings of the orcs, Cyrus.
We work with.
No
Okay,
more,
We have been
no more
working with
metagaming.
Sorry. Hang on while we pull out our sending stones and check in with the rest of our party. You guys don't
Oh,
mind,
no.
right? If just like 3 more people hear this conversation.
No. Cyrus,
Out of
no,
character,
no.
out of
Shut him
character.
back.
No.
Back in the bag. Stuff him in a sock.
Yes, Jork has allies. Including the Baron of Black Ram. Our friend Zakar.
Hello, I'm at work right now, but I can take a call. What's up?
What?
No.
What the fuck?
What?
Brando, get back to work.
What?
Oh, for a
Trying to work on
second,
the
for a
machine.
second, I thought Todd was taking an actual phone call. I was like, Todd,
No,
no.
mute your mic, please.
I'm doing that for
Yeah.
the D&D thing. Because
Also, I
Brandon
love the
used
idea that you told.
and
your work that-
Cyrus used the sending stones. So
Mhm.
No, I did
Yeah.
not. No,
oh, you did
Shut
not.
the
Okay,
I did
never
not.
mind.
Nope. No, nobody's
Shoving his back in the
nobody's
bag.
having that discussion right now.
I
Okay.
don't. I feel like his parents would not appreciate it.
No. I just nod over and I just like I kind of agree. I sorry to have disturbed you in your lovely home. Nice beetle.
Yes. Please also don't hold it against those 2 changelings. We kind of roped them into telling us what happened.
I paid them a lot of money.
Elaine kind of she softens up a bit and she's like, truly, we appreciate you coming out this far. We figured it would happen eventually.
Does it help you to know that Jork is doing very well for himself?
Ah, McGob knows his son as well. He is
Do you
10 times the leader his father was.
get news out here?
Sometimes.
Like, is there a seagull that brings you a newspaper occasionally?
We do have to go to the village occasionally. Yes, we get news.
Oh, okay, cool. Just checking.
City folk. You know what I mean? They think we're rural.
It bears repeating, I am incredibly proud of what my son has accomplished. And McGob is happy that he has such caring friends as well.
But he does.
Stay well, McGob.
And you
Thank
two,
you.
friends of my son. You are friends of McGob as well.
Thank you for the tea. Also, consider the whole thing about the world ending thing.
Yeah,
It's
that's kind of
it's happening. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. You wouldn't even believe it. Anyway, and I lean back in the chair. Oh wait, damn it! I'm not sitting on anything.
Yeah.
I'm just awkwardly holding the teacup that I have not sipped from once. Just like, yep. Thank you.
All right. So,
are we going? Should we go?
yeah,
We
we
should go.
need to move
Yeah,
forward. We're gonna move on to another group now, but the 3 of you, what's the next move? What's next for Team Brain Cell?
Uh, I think we should report into Zakar and Brando. Well, at least Zakar, because he's gonna go talk to Rourke.
No.
No, I'm not
Going
telling.
to go talk to DeRourke has talked to DeRourke.
Has
already
talked to
done.
You
Rourke.
are days
Yeah,
All right,
in
at least
after that.
you're a week
at
late.
least following up and being like, "Hey, we have news, but we'll talk about it later. But hope everything's going well.
Mhm.
Wait, what's the news?
We'll talk about it later."
It's
Spread
confusing.
the word.
Dot dot dot.
No bad news. Just not good news either. Just news.
Just news.
And where is the three of you headed next?
Back to Hunter's Vale to do the job we said we were gonna do.
All right.
Yeah, back on track.
Okay then.
Yep.
It
And now
will.
that we're not looking for anything, we can actually fucking go fast.
Yeah. It will be another week or so getting back to Hunter's Vale. It's a whole ordeal. But while all of that is happening, meanwhile, on the opposite coast of this continent, Zakar and Wilhelm have boarded the Second Wind and are making a long travel south. Somewhere along the way, they do get word from their friends that they have news, but we're not gonna share it, apparently.
It's not like I am so preoccupied.
Well, the main news was like, "Hey, we took a 2-week detour. Still working on that thing, and we did follow up on the other thing. It's fine."
You called
Very cryptic, says
You
Wilhelm.
called us to tell us there's news, and then save it for later. Are you still near the news?
Yes.
Of all the
yeah.
sentences you have ever said in your life, Cyrus, that is probably the least fine, right up there with "I talked to Asmodeus on accident," guys.
All right, Cyrus. Maybe we tell them a little bit more. Go on.
When we're like way out of earshot of the people
Oh,
who we
yeah,
just
yeah.
said we weren't going to tell
Yeah.
you, we're like, "Look,
way out of earshot, so they can't understand that we immediately betrayed their trust.
oh wait, does someone have a there's like a circle of protection so people can't listen in or whatever. I guess that would stop the sending stones. This feels like not safe to communicate over sending stones. We have a
And don't use the
Brando.
sending stones.
Well, Wilhelm
Okay.
leans in and is like, "Is this immediately important?"
No, I'm just letting you know we're 2 weeks
Okay.
behind schedule. Goodbye. Have fun.
Hey, it's fine. We're not in a hurry to do any of this shit, apparently. But the point is, we'll have a town meeting later. It'll be great.
Yeah.
There will be beer and steaks, and we can talk all about it.
Okay, getting the agenda ready.
Travel
You just do it
safe.
with me when you
Cool.
actually want something. Brando puts back or shuts off his sending stone, puts on his welding
Yeah.
helmet, and gets back to working.
Brando's leaving that
Yeah.
shit on red.
Brando is permanently on Do Not Disturb as he just
Mhm.
flips down a welding mask.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
scoffing. This isn't even about me. Ugh.
I'm sorry.
Wilhelm's like, "Man, I mean, I love all y'all, but woof."
Yeah, no, I didn't have good feelings about this plan, but
Mhm.
there's nothing I could do.
Yep. So,
Shit, I should have sent Morag with them. That would have. Damn it.
Team brain cell. Team brain cell.
Remember, these got brain cells.
Look.
Lots of brain cells.
look,
More than one.
Look, Wilhelm is not a father figure in any way, shape, or form. I hope not, at least. But I think there is a point where you just have to, let him leave the nest and, let him break their leg and learn from it. And, this is just one of those times. It's like we let him go out and do adventuring stuff, no training wheels, and then figure out which foot broke. It's fine.
They
It's going to
only
be a
have
net
4
positive. I guarantee
limbs
it.
to break.
It's going to be a net positive. Promise. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
So the voyage to wrap it up in a very short amount of time, it takes you the better part of a month to get to Scoria, and the voyage itself actually largely boring. You happen to be in an ideal season for this locale. It does get very cold the further south you travel, as the South Pole is wont to do.
During all of this, Zakar is occasionally like trying to press gang people into sparring him, of which no one is having anything to do with, except maybe Arcade, like
Yeah.
from time to time, and he is
go ahead.
And he is generally just kind of like just pouting, like
Yeah.
he's just like, man.
Yeah.
Where are some fucking pirates when you need them? And everyone's just like, shut up, Zakar.
It's a boring stretch, and you know there are definitely a time where it's like probably a random sailor is like, oh, watch me take on this guy, and then you just beat the fuck out of him, and everybody gets the point after that, and it's like, all right, never mind, no more picking fights with the Baron of Black Ram.
Just for fun, because he. Anyway.
Yard, a Baron of Black Ram done punched me 3 times in my kidneys and I shit out my lung. Oh, this is worse than scurvy.
Hoity doy, ow, hoity doy, he. Oh, oof. Big oof. Big oof.
And so then earns the weird reputation on the crew of like, okay, yeah, so like he can like punch you in the way it hurts and then will like punch you back together. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Just like don't touch him, don't talk to him.
That particular sailor gets the nickname Roundhouse. Just for the rest of the trip, and he's not happy about it, but it's very humbling.
He got me in L7.
Mm-hmm. So, you eventually do reach Scoria, the massive volcano that marks the South Pole. It is to get dramatic about it. It is tall and black with ribbons of glowing red trailing from its peak. Previously, you were warned from approaching any further when the city is visible, but its denizens are not. Wilhelm has passed on instructions on how to signal your approach so that the locals don't blow you out of the water. And we don't need to belabor the point on what the instructions are. Imagine like a precise sequence of signals, something akin to like 1, 2, pause, 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2. You use gunpowder as your signal. It takes a couple minutes to deliver the entire code, after which 2 flares launch themselves through the sky from the city, signaling that your approach has been granted.
Okay.
You were briefed about all of this by Wilhelm, so everything's going according to plan. Approaching by sea this particular visit, as you approach, there isn't much in the way of a simple path to the harbor, because you came in by airship last time.
Yes.
Now you see that the waters around the harbor are actually like really shallow. There's lava rock you can still see through the water. Sometimes hanging out of the water entirely. But as you get closer, you see some of the locals, these, obsidian-skinned, red-haired men and women standing upwards of 20 feet tall. A handful of them just jump off the dock and wade out onto the rocks, out to where your ship is. And they, without any exchange of words or anything, they just lift the boat up and carry it up and out of the water, bringing it over all the shoals and setting it down in a dry dock in the harbor, very carefully. Still, the ride's a little rough, and absolutely none of you or your crew are ready for it. So after picking yourself up off the deck, a gangplank is extended out onto the massive stone docks. Waiting at the end of the gangplank is a couple of fully armed guards, stoically flanking a figure that you probably remember. Right, artwork. I have that.
The pirate just goes, "My sea legs are uncomfortable upon land."
A tiny man by comparison. A spindly warforged who has had his face manufactured to always display a soft grin. It's either pleasant or unsettling depending on who you ask. As you approach, he greets you warmly, and again, when he speaks, his mouth does not move. And he kind of extends his arms out to either side and says, "Zakar the Cure, Baron of Black Ram, it is a most pleasant surprise to receive you today."
Or were you gonna pull that art up, Chris?
I did.
It's up.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's a Foundry issue then.
I guess. I can try again.
There
Let
we
me.
That did it for me.
Hey,
Yep,
there
that's
we
good.
go.
It didn't kick the first time.
Hey. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
That was your...
Yeah, you
Well,
you
did
probably
actually pop up twice.
you probably remember this character. His name is Jenner.
Yeah. No, I do. I do remember Jenner. I should have known it would be you, Jenner.
It always is, Baron.
Thank you for welcoming me to your fine city.
Of course. We did know you were coming, but it was not made clear exactly when to expect your arrival. It is most uncommon to have repeat visits from champions of the arena, and rarer still for the Red Lady to grant an audience out of the blue. He kind of notices that, like, you're traveling in a different company this time, so he says, "To reiterate, I am Jenner, attendant to the Red Lady and emissary to her guests. Unfortunately, Her Majesty is not personally receiving anyone else today, but if you'll allow me to show you to your quarters, I can make you as comfortable as possible until she is prepared to grant you an audience."
That would be fantastic, Jenner.
Excellent.
And I apologize for the sudden arrival. The travel arrangements were unpredictable.
No apologies necessary, Baron. Please, right this way. And he, very cordially, begins to escort you. His entourage kind of moves with you guys. And again, like the walk's a little bit long because giants take big steps, so it's it takes a little bit longer than your legs feel like it should. But you're escorted inland to a sort of a suite. It's not too different from where you stayed before. It is very near the arena. The room is carved directly from the stone of the mountain. The vast majority of the furniture is stone. The door is stone. The windows are narrow slits carved from the stone. But the rooms are strangely comfortable. There are magma flows that have been directed underneath the rooms with vents that allow heat in, so it's extremely comfy in here compared to everything that's happening outside. This moment is probably the first time you've felt warmth in weeks. But yeah, you're escorted in. Jenner reminds you that just say the word. He can get you just about anything. And then he leaves you and Wilhelm to it. Wilhelm kind of sits down on a bed and imagine like a stone slab that's just had like several furs and blankets thrown on top of it, and he kind of settles on it and he's like, "Well, it's not 5-star, but it is the comfiest slab of stone I've ever sat on."
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Pretty similar to how we were here before.
He leans forward and goes, "So, what is the strategy?"
Well, the strategy is just to lay out the material facts of the matter. There's an apocalypse on its way, and it's my job to tell everyone about it and try to put as many heads together to stop it as I can.
So we're hoping that the news will do all the persuasion for us.
I mean, when you have a direct line to the Raven Queen herself, it can just be pretty persuasive.
That's a fair point.
It's not as if I am, well, last time I was here, there was about 10,000 less degrees of status about me, about us.
Yeah.
So, couple dinners with deities later, barony on top of my name.
Wilhelm kind of like, he lays down on the
Appar-
bed and looks at the ceiling for a second. He's just thinking about everything you're saying.
Shatterkai as a rule don't ever actually end up as somebody. So I guess that's what I am now, Wilhelm. I'm a somebody.
Cogs turn in his brain, not, figuratively, as well as physically. He kind of picks his head up and he goes, "Well, you go first."
So, not that I'm on the level of King Trog or the Silverbeards or anything like that, but can't just call me a random adventurer or even a Scoria champion. And he just laughs and like, yeah, because I'm definitely the right person for this job.
He kind of grins. Wilhelm has a look on his face that is not his usual, not his usual like mask of charm. And he says, "Can I give you a piece of advice?"
Go for it.
You didn't get where you are by playing the game that people play to get in the position that you are.
True. You have to be born that way.
Yeah.
Like Dorork even.
Well, more to the point, you have to be a different kind of person. And you're the kind of person that actually like does stuff. And I don't know the Red Lady that well, but I have a strong suspicion that you're here because she recognizes that about you. This is kind of a long-winded way of saying, like, maybe be true to yourself. I mean, there are times when you can think of yourself as the Baron of Blackram, but I'm not sure today is it.
Yeah, the barony is only ever a means to an end. The time comes where I can toss that shit in the dirt.
He kind of
thoughts for later.
He smiles real big and he's like, "You think like we end up surviving this? You're going to be like, great, job's done. Give up the barony just like that. Just walk away."
I mean, what?
Oh, I'm not judging. It's just that seems incredibly you. I'm looking forward to that day. That's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, you think that the king is gonna have a look on his face?
He lays down and puts his hat over his face, and he's like, "I don't think you give a shit."
No, I don't. Lord knows I'm not about to actually settle down. even if Black Ram is nice. Besides, after all this time, it's Mizoga who deserves it.
Well, something to keep in mind when you pass it on.
Yeah. You really think the Red Lady is willing to talk because she knows that there's something worth actually talking about?
If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know what to expect. I think it's in our best interest to pay attention while we're here. The he takes his hat off his face. He's like, the Red Lady doesn't. There are no neighboring kingdoms. Like, the Red Lady doesn't deal with stuff. She's not a leader in the way that we think of leaders. She's not falutin' and negotiating with people. She runs this place because she's the baddest bitch that ever lived. And she doesn't have anybody else to answer to. So, if you could even presume to have leadership experience or negotiation experience, I can't promise that it means a fucking thing here. I just keep an open eye and an open mind.
Yeah.
We're off the map. That's all I'm saying.
Wilhelm, I don't think I can remember the last time I was properly on the map, but... Alright.
I'm going to bed.
You're going to bed.
It's too comfy in here.
Alright.
He puts that hat back, and he's like, Wilhelm out.
Yeah, you do you, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there is a good wait. You don't really have the opportunity to, like, you don't have the freedom of just like hanging out in Scoria and seeing what's up. They pretty much just want you to stay in the suite the whole time. But you're there, for at least a day, and it's not too late the next day. It's probably before lunchtime. That Jenner knocks on the door again. And this time, you're once again meet with an escort, but it's very heavy this time. Where you would assess the difference between fighting 2 fire giants and 8 would not be very different. So this is this is a bigger deal than you're used to. But there is without too much ado, Jenner leads you and your new crowd, your new entourage, over these.
Go ahead. Am I bringing my entourage or?
Not your entourage, but like it's basically Jenner, you, Wilhelm, and like 8 fire giants.
Okay, no, that's fine.
And Jenner leads you through these cold, stone-carved streets into the parts of Scoria that were not built for medium-sized guests. These are parts of the city you haven't really seen. Easily 5 times the width of streets as you understand them. Buildings that line the street tower over you, seemingly arching over you the closer that you get to them. There are locals milling around, but they give your escort a wide berth, and they don't seem overly concerned with who you are. And taking such small steps in comparison, this walk is very long. You've really never felt smaller in your life. Eventually, there is a very long stone staircase to climb. And it's at this part of the journey that a platform is produced for you to stand on. And the 3 of you get on it, and it is carried the rest of the way up the stairs by the guards. And after a second of being carried by that thing, Wilhelm is like, well, this makes sense, actually. This many steps at these altitudes, somebody with lungs would likely pass out by the time they got to the top. I don't know why they didn't carry us the whole way, though.
I don't know, infrastructure?
Uh,
Maybe they just don't like visitors.
yeah. And this continues on for several minutes. After being carried somewhat harshly up the steps, you eventually reach an opulent palace that's been carved into the mountain. Massive stone doors groan as they are pushed open, echoing out over the whole city. Going inside, the interior is totally cavernous. There's lava being allowed to pass through the palace, guided from ceiling down through the floor in thick rivers. The air here is stifling. You kind of immediately yearn to breathe the freezing air from outside. The platform is carried down a big long hallway and brought into a throne room, big even for a fire giant. And upon the throne is the Red Lady. The Red Lady herself. The Red Lady towers over her constituents. She's some 30 feet tall or more. Your escort stops on one end of the room, opposite of her throne, and sets you down. This space is about 200 feet on each side. And radiating out from the center of it between you and the throne is a big mosaic motif of, flames and magma and shit that is just covers the majority of the space. It probably looks really cool from above. And as you're set down, the Red Lady doesn't say anything, or she just kind of watches you. Jenner steps into you and kind of says a little bit under his breath. He says, "So, step forward into the center of the room, state your name and your business. You will need to speak loudly and clearly to be heard, and do be mindful of her temper." And then he steps aside and just motions with his hand, and you're off.
Okay. Thank you, Jenner. Zakar strides forward into the center of the room.
It takes a minute. As a matter of fact, oh, sorry, I had to cough.
You're good.
So, you start doing this walk, and again, you're crossing like a football field, in this room. Your escort doesn't follow you, so it's just you and Wilhelm. And as you're crossing this long space, it's an awkward amount of time that everybody's just watching you walk. And Wilhelm speaks again, kind of under his breath. The space is so big here that you can kind of just mutter under your breath and be confident that nobody can hear you.
Yeah, it's too big.
So he's like, seems unnecessary, doesn't it? Watching us walk across a big room for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Man, dude, royal leadership doesn't make sense to me. I don't know.
Hey, listen. I know showmanship when I see it. She's trying to make a point. She wants us to feel small.
No, they're always all trying to make a point. Every one of these leaders that I've met with.
Yeah.
They all have to have the biggest dick, and you have to just choke on it every time.
Eloquent. Lean into that. That will surely get her ear. But eventually, you do reach the center of the room, and Wilhelm just he hangs a couple steps behind you.
And then Zakar takes a deep breath and then projecting his voice out into the fucking ceramite football field that he is in.
Yep.
Says, my great lady, I am Baron Zakar the Cure. I thank you for offering me this meeting and your hospitality. My business here today is as an emissary of the Raven Queen. The Raven Queen has chosen me as her champion on this material plane, tasked with the purpose of heralding a coming apocalypse. There is an enemy moving through the astral plane as we speak. According to the Raven Queen herself, it has already consumed the Feywilds and the Shadowfells. I have already informed other kingdoms of this impending doom per the task given to me, and now I come to you conveying this information and seeking your allyship against it.
She shifts a bit, kind of letting the head of this mace of her, this scepter of hers, kind of sit on the ground. And she says, "An apocalypse, you say?" And her voice booms through the room. And she says, "And when it comes time to battle this catastrophe, what is your part?"
Oh, Chris, do you
Yeah?
have a voice changey thing for this?
I don't. It would have been a nice thing to think about.
My mind's eye.
My part is the same as every other living beings on this planet. To fight and win, so that we might all survive. No more, no less.
You have rallied other kingdoms behind you.
To the best of my ability.
Then you have branded yourself the protector of all the realms. She kind of leans forward a bit and says, "You consider yourself large enough to thwart that which would threaten my people. Look around you, champion. I have much at my beck and call. Why would I need your help?"
Because gods are already dead, my good lady. The Apocalypse Alabar comes not to fight a war, but to consume the material plane. I consider myself nothing in all of this. Had the Raven Queen herself not tasked me with this, I would be in complete ignorance. You know, as I am a former champion of your games, that I come thoroughly from nothing. The fates that have brought me to this exact moment are just that. Fates. If you deem me arrogant and uppity and wasting merely of your time, then so be it. If you deem yourself powerful enough to shatter gods with your own strength and the strength of your people, then so be it. I cannot convince you.
She. Go ahead.
But there are kingdoms of Morn rallying against the impending enemy. An enemy that already begins to probe and reconnaissance our ways through the aberrations that have been leaching into the oceans from the maelstrom.
She says, you assume much to think that I am concerned about the affairs of other nations and their gods. And you do not make a compelling argument by admitting that you cannot convince me.
I convince you to act in your own best interest, my good lady.
Oh, I have every intention of defending this place, and I can do it. Am I to assume my time has been wasted?
If you deem the allyship of the Orcish kingdoms and the changelings a waste of time, then I suppose we will simply be forced to win a field of victory without you.
I would like you to make an insight check.
Okay. Uh, 17.
Nice. Real good. Okay. So, what was I trying to say? First and foremost, we'll get to what that role means in a moment.
Okay.
But at this point in the conversation, she definitely has a there's a moment where you wonder if like maybe she's playing a game with you. Like maybe she's not being 100% forthcoming with her approach in this conversation. But she does convey that she is annoyed that this conversation is happening at all. And it is at this point that she kind of nods her head as if she has made a decision. And she looks to her left to one of her guards in the palace, and she says, "That's well enough. Have him thrown in the shoals." And that guard brandishes a great axe and starts marching towards the two of you. Now, this is where your insight check is important. If it was her intention to have you killed, she would have sent however many guards it would take to do so. Because you definitely couldn't fight every fire giant in this room. But she didn't send that many. She sent one. She wants you to resist.
Okay.
His ass.
Might make right. Might make right. Strength.
Okay. Are you
I wish I was
asking
there.
for my response, Chris, or are you
Yeah.
telling me to roll initiative?
I'll let you do one before the other.
Okay.
Boy, we set the right person on this mission.
Well. Ooh, you know what? No, we're gonna make this fun. Because this means that I can do something that I don't get to do very often. This fire giant is going to get the Ring of the Black Ram.
Oh, we're rebranding the artifact.
We are rebranding the artifact, yes.
Nice. Excellent. All right.
As it intended.
So the giant's got a couple steps to make before he gets in range of something like that. You got time to build up to that if you like.
Time to actually, you know what? Okay, we can do that. Halo of Light.
All right.
I'll activate. Which again is sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light in a further 10-foot radius, and is considered to be visibly wearing a holy symbol. Not that necessarily matters for this.
Mm-hmm.
Where these feathers come from?
Yeah, definitely some feathers.
Yarr! I've never seen so many crows.
Mm-hmm.
He's not here, but thank you.
My lumbago.
What?
Alafos?
No.
Aw.
No, that's Grease. Different spell.
Grease and hamsters.
Thinking about him.
To activate.
Okay. I'll say you got time to do that.
Yeah, a halo of light, and then hit this fire giant before he can even touch me, like outside of like the 5-foot radius of just like bam, Ring of the Black Ram. Full send all 3 charges.
Okay. As this guy starts to approach and you start, charging your laser, Wilhelm kind of sidles up to you and he's like, "What are you doing? What's the plan?"
Wilhelm, trust. You said play the game, well, we're playing it. This is what she wants.
He kind of is like, "All right," almost as if he regrets his advice a tiny bit.
Good.
He makes the universal facial expression of hoisted by my own petard. And then he takes out his lute and he's like, "All right, I believe in you." Bling. He kind of plays a chord and then like just backs away from you. He's gonna go ahead and give you a D10 bardic. And then I'm going to say that you have prepared an action. So as this fire giant comes into range, you let him have it. I'm guessing that's a saving throw of some kind?
No, it's actually to hit.
Okay.
It's a spell attack.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. $19 to hit.
19. Yep, 18 was the AC.
Okay, awesome.
So you wham this guy with the ring. Blast of kinetic energy comes out, knocking him back like 15 feet or something?
That's a great question. Hold on. This is one of those items that I have not had to look up in a while.
Ring of the Ram. Target is pushed 5 feet away from you and takes 2d10 force damage. For each charge you spend.
I was going to say per charge, so it's going to be 6d10 and like 15 feet.
Yeah.
Which for giant is kind of a lot.
Yeah, so pow, you hit this guy. He scoots back a little bit, digs the pommel of his axe into the ground to try and like slow him sliding backwards for what it's worth. But you basically punched him in the stomach with a battering ram. He is going to right himself, and then I'm going to have you go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
All you have to do is beat this fucking champion and then just impress upon her the strength of the Alliance.
Shit. Well, I'd rather botch it. Fucking.
Yeah. Okay. So immediately after that, he got a 14 on initiative, so he's gonna come out swinging before you have a chance to react. I'm sorry, it's a great sword, if that matters for your visual of what's going on.
That's fine.
But it has a reach of 10 feet, so he can still hit you. He can still hit you without approaching. 16 to hit.
Okay. Miss. Sidestep.
Mm-hmm. And Saint rolls a 19.
Still a miss.
Yep. He comes in horizontally. You just duck under it. He comes in vertically. You sidestep it. The great sword, dings into the mosaic on the floor. He's swinging hard, but he's big and he's telegraphing his hits. It's your turn.
Okay. See / roll. We're gonna go with a bunch of hits here. We're gonna do the ultra combo of
Woof.
7 to hit. And so that's 1 hit. That's 2 hits.
Very.
That's a crit.
That's a crit.
Okay, so that's 2 hits and 1 crit.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
And 15 to hit.
AC 18.
That's right, AC 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sucks. However, that means a lot of fun stuff. So excuse me while I count a very large amount of dice. Because we got D8s for days, fam. That's right. Martial arts die.
2 hits and a crit.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So that's 2D. So that's 3D8 plus the crit, so that would be 4D8. And then I'm going to do a thing that I haven't done in a hot minute, also of my unarmed attack, which just so happens to also be the crit, and I'm not making that up. I'm going to pump full of key points.
Okay.
Because I have my Halo of Light activated. To the tune of 5 key points. So because I kind of did this ass backwards of rolling hits before damage, the extra damage that I'm adding into that crit, is that also going to get doubled or not?
Any damage dice on the attack gets doubled. Not the modifiers, though.
No, not the modifiers. Oh, okay. So, slash roll 14d8 plus 19.
I'm gonna love watching this.
Good lord.
Just describe that round of attacks.
Yeah, I was going to, because obviously I have to. So what happens after this guy just completely whiffs? This 5'10" Shatterkai, who's probably like half his height, is Zakar. Absolutely just cracks one of his kneecaps with the Staff of Thunder and Lightning, and then uppercuts into his crotch again with the Staff of Thunder and Lightning,
Mm-hmm.
and then just with a huge, massive surge of holy radiant, just raven energy, just fucking shoryukens the fuck out of this dude.
Yep. Right on.
Just
Mhm.
right in that dude's face.
Yep. He staggers back. He's hurting in many places that are important.
Also, actually, make him have a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. Yeah, we can throw a stunning strike in there. He rolled a.
No, this is not a stunning strike. This
Okay.
is actually an expanded Sacred Fist ability.
Okay, cool.
But it is a con saving throw.
Okay, con save. He rolled a 2 for a total of 12. They're good at Constitution saves, but he's gonna have to roll better than that.
Yeah, he just has to roll better than that. Mm-hmm. He is now blinded.
Okay.
Because of the blinding fist effect.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can add on to my extra key points that I spent. So I literally punched him so fucking hard that he is temporarily blinded.
You rang his bell so hard that his optic nerves have failed himself.
Yes.
That's a bad day. That's a bad day when your brain goes, nope, good night.
That's metal as shit.
We can't process this one, buddy. We can't let you see what happens next. It's bad. It's bad. You can't watch.
Yeah.
You're gonna have You're gonna have to talk to somebody after this. This is gonna be fucked up for your friend.
Yep. All right. Blinded. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna have him make a D20 check to see if he can figure out which space you're in.
Okay.
He rolled an 18. So he staggers back a little bit. He clearly can't see what he's doing. But he halts for a second, and then he kind of like he kind of lowers his stance, like hunkers down a little bit, and then he charges. He's clearly just guessing, but he guesses correctly. I'm gonna need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me run to the bathroom.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same then.
Oh my god, perfect timing.
Bathroom break for everybody.
Bathroom.
Quickie.
All right. What's up?
I'm not gonna go. I want to talk about how fucking nifty this fight is.
It's real cool.
I like it. I'm telling you. All you got to do, you got to give her good heat.
Yep.
You just got to go, with the glory of Scoria, with the power of, show the weaker races their due. Ooh, yes.
Again, super glad we sent Zakar to this one.
Yep.
low key, I'm just like, God, Wild would have thrived here. He would have loved
Oh,
to be
yeah.
here. He would have been squashed, but he would have loved to go. It's one of those things where I was just like, damn man, if only I had asked Chris for like a fucking belt of giant strength or some shit.
It's not too late.
No. I love Murtaugh's gloves, and I don't think I'll ever take them off.
Are you all attuned out?
Oh hell no. Hell no, I'm not all tuned out.
I mean,
No, I think Wild has literally one magic attunement item.
oh dang, jealous.
I wonder how
Uh,
much a belt of giant strength would cost.
They're pretty big deal.
They're a lot.
I think
Well,
they're
here's the thing.
5,000 more?
Here's the thing. It differentiates between a hill giant, a
Mm.
stone giant, a fire giant, and a cloud giant.
mhm.
It's true, it does.
Cloud giant, if I am not mistaken, is somewhere in like the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hill giant, which I think is 21,
Mhm.
I think is relatively there. But I'm not gonna lie. At 19, I'm pretty much at 20. Like, it would only be a +1 enchantment. It wouldn't even be that much.
Okay, I have
You're,
returned.
you're just one ASI away
We
from
can't go over 20? Well, I guess.
with
No.
magical
With magical items, it would be.
magical items you can go. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Okay.
go. You can't go over 20 using just ASIs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you have something in your class that says otherwise, which as a barbarian, technically, if I rode that out all the way, I could have a 24 in strength naturally.
Hey.
But it would require me to actually put points into them, which I did not at the beginning of Wild's life. Nor have I prioritized them as ASIs.
You could hit a fire giant with another fire giant.
I could. I did min-max Wild in other ways, which is
Mm.
why I was just like, no, dude, I'd fucking love if Wild got in here. Because every single one of these fire giants is just like, there's no way he can stop me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Wild makes a weird move with his wrist, and all of a sudden this fire giant can't move his knee. Like, no, you're in my world now. You're in my world down here. Like, oh, fuck.
What's the? Oh, there you are, Taylor.
Yeah, no, I've been here.
Okay.
He beat you.
Oh, but why didn't somebody say something? I've been sitting here not playing
Yeah,
D&D.
Because they were talking, being nerds.
All right. I need a strength save.
Right.
I'm just thinking of a Wild moment where it's like
16.
DC was 19. So
Yeah.
he charges in your space, and he just kind of like holds his forearm out and like hits you in the throat with it, and he knocks you prone. So that will give him advantage on these attack rolls.
But he has disadvantage, so it's actually
From
just an
being
attack
blinded.
roll.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
blind.
He rolled a 6 and a 6, for a total of 17 to hit,
Oh,
which will not hit.
right.
Nope.
God damn it, man.
Yeah.
That shit would hit
Yeah.
me. That shit would hit me.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
my good friend.
Yeah, he very unceremoniously like brings up the great sword, brings it down, and you roll out of the way, and it doesn't hit you, and then he brings it up and brings it down again, and you roll out of the way, and that's it.
Oh my god. Zakar is Jackie Chan.
At least, at least.
Pretty much.
Put your foot in the bucket and kick him with it.
All right, and that is your turn.
Oh, okay. My turn.
Zakar,
If let's see, I have to use all of my movement to get up from prone.
Half
correct?
your movement.
Oh, half my movement.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I mean, this guy is on top of me, so I don't really need to move beyond that.
yeah, just getting up to get rid of the disadvantage on melees.
Yeah. So I'll just okay. All right, we're doing this. This is fun.
This is what he wanted.
I was gonna say, like, Wilhelm is probably like the only one closest to him, apart from the giant, just being like, "Oh, I haven't had a good fight in like a month."
It feels real good.
It does. Okay. First hit. 30.
Yeah, sorry. You shouldn't laugh at this poor fire giant.
Let's see. You said his ace. Oh, no, that is a hit. You said it was 18.
AC 18. You're good.
Yep. So I meant that. Okay. Cool. Okay, number 3. That's
Wow.
that's the same. That is the same attack that I crit on. Number 3.
You ever just be a fire giant and have a guy a third of your size come over here and fucking just to duking the shit out of you?
Mm-hmm.
It's the karma from Baldur's Gate.
Okay, and we get the 4th attack.
Right? Yeah.
2 hits and a crit, and then 1 hit on the unarmed.
Yep.
So it's the same dice as before, right?
It's worse because now it's 4 attacks.
Yep.
Hang on though, because I need
it was
to.
14 d8 plus 19.
Well, because that was 5 minus. I guess that's 2, and okay, yeah. So I can do this one more time. So that's going to be 15 d8.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Lord.
But because we got an extra attack in there, that means that it was 19. Yeah, because it's 7 plus 7 is 14. Okay, so yeah, it's 24. Plus 24. And
Bring it.
The way.
104 damage.
I need to open that up. How many of those are fucking crits? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 crits, 2 botches. That's crazy, dude.
That's
And a whole bunch of
astronomically good. That's
amazing.
So I need to establish something for everybody present. You have done in 2 turns 211 damage.
Yeah.
You have taken 0 damage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Your opponent has 162 HP. How do you want to do this?
Made.
Maybe non-lethally. Jesus Christ, give him a break. Give him a break, Rock.
No, we'll do it non-lethal. But what happens is Zakar leaps up and brings the Staff of Thunder and Lightning just crashing into this dude's ribcage. And it comes. The first hit is crashing into the ribcage. The second hit, just slices against this dude's collarbone, and using all of that monk mobility and movement, Zakar basically like runs the rest of the way up, just like it says, like 2-3 steps, like up this dude's chest to actually like be like a head higher than his head, and just 1-2 fucking Kaioken Raven punches this motherfucker into the granite, and he just hits the ground and does not move.
Yeah, the mosaic is fucked.
Can I meta game a thing here, please?
What you got?
Sure.
Okay, since we have Wilhelm singing, the song for this moment is "When the Kids Think of the Future." Maybe kids don't need the masters. Just
God.
waiting on the little busters. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Very good.
All right.
With the crashing of this fire giant just going limp against the stone, the red lady she's cackling. She's like, she stands up off the throne, and she says, "You carry the fire of the earth in your breath. You have earned my aid, champion.
Nice.
But understand this. Scoria has no allies, and that will not change. We will not join you at your beck and call. It is not our way. If you fail to defeat the World Eater, we will do what we must to defend our home, and if we fail, we will revel in our final stand." She snaps her fingers. Another one of her guards in her retinue approaches her, holding a chest. She opens it and reaches in and extracts an object. It fits in her palm very nicely, but when she steps forward and places it on the ground in front of you, it's about the size of a horse. It's a large, coiling animal horn. The biggest end is big enough to climb into, and it coils downward, overlapping itself once until it terminates with a brass nozzle, fit for a medium creature to blow into. It's a big horn. She says, "This is not to be taken lightly. The first time this horn is blown, you will summon a collection of my finest soldiers. They will appear immediately, and they will surely turn the tide of any battle. Afterwards, they will be transported home, and the horn will produce only sound and nothing more. Do you understand?"
I understand. And your finest shall find glory on this battlefield.
She nods, very satisfied, and says, "Good." She shouts something very succinct in giant language to the soldiers in the room. They all move to collect you and Wilhelm and start escorting you out. And as they do, as you're leaving, the red lady finally says, "Fight hard, champion. Live and die with no regrets."
That's awesome.
And I think...
live in.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Zakar shouts back. As I completely lose my train of thought and just fucking.
Yeah.
God damn it. Give me a second.
In the meantime, I posted something in the chat.
Yeah, I saw it.
Fight well and fight hard, champion.
Zakar will turn and briefly give a kind of cheekily give his old military a salute.
Mm-hmm.
With just like kind of like a vicious shit-eating grin like on his face.
Right.
And then a turn and like then is like finished being collected and making his way out.
Okay. Yeah, and as you're leaving, Wilhelm like kind of slaps you in the arm and is like, "Good job, Baron."
Just, oh god, dude, I'm okay. That was really fun. Oh, but these royals, man.
Yeah. Hey, you just probably met the meanest one, so breathe easy.
I killed the meanest one, Wilhelm. Let's not.
Anyway, you will be sailing out of Scoria effective immediately, and I just want to know what your destination is, and then we can move on.
Okay. Give me a second, because I politely I didn't think we were going to be asking this question today. So I don't have a very good answer for you. So I am.
I mean, we don't have to answer it right. We don't have to answer it right this second, but if you, we will have to know before next session.
No, we will. That's why I'm doing the thing that adventurers do, and I'm pulling out the map.
Mm-hmm.
The stone beds hurt my bottom.
At least I'm trying to.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm
again?
gonna move on, and we can talk about it in our leisure.
Okay.
In the in between. So, meanwhile, while all this chicanery is happening on the South Pole, the camera races up out of the cloud cover and out of the atmosphere and across the solar system to parts unknown, but known to some. Brando.
Yo.
You awake, Todd?
I think, hopefully. Let's
All
see
right.
how I do.
Okay. So I'll just full disclosure. I got a lot of read aloud text here. I'm going to hit you with. Feel free to cut me off if you got any thoughts you want to interject with. It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to pretty much just be yanking you along. Over several weeks, the massive creation engine, affectionately called the Mass Endothermic Omni-Weight Covalent Automated Fabrication Engine, is
Cafe.
the Meow Cafe.
Cafe.
It's paying dividends.
Mm-hmm.
The projects that you brought to Mechonis are all completed in days rather than weeks. Axelrod's no, just like your personal project, I refer to. Axelrod's foot, which was previously laid to waste by the attacks of your fellows, is completely replaced, so he's back on his feet.
Hey.
And with all that work out of the way, work on the Spelljammer can begin in earnest. There is an enthusiasm previously never felt rippling through the Skyfires as creativity and ingenuity flow freely in the space. You lose track of time, you lose sleep, you almost forget why you're doing any of this in the first place. And for a very short time...
Coffee is brewed.
Yeah.
Lots of tools are made to fix other tools.
For a very short time, it's not even about what you're creating or why. It's only about how. The three of you are working together in your element, in harmony. You could spend years working on this machine, gradually unlocking all its potential uses, but right now, your minds are on one thing, and that is space travel.
Yes.
I am going to have these Skyfires, which I remembered to prepare art this time. Behold, Brando's father, Ralos Skyfire, and Ralos' brother, Rick Skyfire.
Let me close some windows here.
And I can
okay. I accidentally got rid of Ralos.
Well, he's there. Here, I'll throw it at you again. You can.
Thank
there.
you.
That's for you. Okay. So I'm gonna have all three of you make Arcana checks.
Okay. Going into my stat page. Arcana. +7.
Nice.
Advantage, normal, disadvantage?
Just a regular Arcana check.
So
all right.
18.
All right. Between the three of you, you rolled real good. Actually designing a ship is a task that comes easily enough to you guys. Your father's already done it several times. So using what has been learned since then, improvements are suggested, weaknesses are addressed. It takes some time to iron out all the finer points of what you've come up with as a team, but the biggest problem is simply that none of you have ever been to space, and you don't know anyone who has. So it's kind of a mystery to you what to expect and prepare for, but that's all later date stuff. You can address that later on. Right now, the objective is to get a ship working that can perform the science required to collect the data needed to complete that project.
And aid the grave callers.
And so plates are being molded into shape, bolted together in a shape befitting your stellar chariot. The design will need some retrofitting once you know what to expect in space, but the time-consuming part of assembling an airship is done. You've come up with a frame that you're all satisfied will fit the bill.
Probably before that, we make like a little demonstration model just to see how it would be like. Oh no, it's good to have a prototype before building the big thing.
Yeah, I mean this is probably gonna be that, you know, like you're gonna be like, okay, does it fly? Great. Okay, now the space problem, and then eventually the prototype will just become the thing. So yeah, things are going well. The notion that it could all go very wrong never crosses anyone's mind.
It's we
Pause.
have to push.
Yeah, just pause for let that sink in. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, even if it does go wrong, then it'll explode in our faces. We'll clean the dust off and go at it again with
That's the
different
attitude.
design.
So, as you are in, deep in your work, Axelrod's train whistle goes off. By the way, this is what Axelrod looks like.
Yeah.
Got a 15-foot tall, just death machine. So,
There we go.
yeah, so Axelrod basically warned you that something's going on, and you all run in to investigate, and you see that monodrones are on approach. Probably about 3 dozen of them.
Only 3 dozen. Okay.
Yeah. Axelrod is ready to perforate them, but Rick manages to talk him down, knowing full well that Primus's soldiers, interrupting whatever they're up to is only going to complicate your operation. So the monodrones, they let themselves into the factory and immediately start climbing on all of the machines. And they don't necessarily interfere with construction of the ship. They just start working on the machines. They start fine-tuning the parts of the machine. Turns out, yeah, go ahead.
What are they doing?
He kind of looks at it and he's like, your guess is as good as mine. They're not talking.
Is it wise to communicate with them, or what would you advise here?
He goes, I could try.
Brando's like, how can we convince them that this would benefit them too? Because this plane of existence might get wiped.
Are they helping? It kind of seems like they're helping.
We're not sure if they're helping yet.
Well, currently they're just working on the machines, like trying to tune them up. And at this point, like any questions you had about Modrons, like Tao could have filled you in, and he would point out to you that monodrones are the absolute bottom of the totem pole here in Mechonis. They literally are only capable of having one task at a time. So it's pretty difficult to like convince them of anything. They're kind of just like on the path, right? So knowing that, he's like, he's like, I could try to talk to him, but I don't think they're likely to like care.
Could we possibly guess that they're on maintenance duty?
I mean, it's certainly what it looks like.
Brando scratches his beard, looks to Ralos and Rick, trying to figure out,
They're just kind of sitting and watching for now.
They don't consider us a threat right now.
No, these were clear. They were sent here with one task, and that task appears to be to make this machine work.
I wonder why they would send this back up into operation.
And yeah, Tao would be like, yeah, that's weird. But you know, Primus never does anything just on a whim. Like, he wouldn't have sent them here unless he needed this place. But as you're watching these monodrones work, it's pretty clear. Like, it turns out they know more about the machine than any of you do. And after a while, they actually make the machine start to work better. It's working more efficiently. And the only thing that is a worry to any of you is, why are they doing this?
Rando's studying how they work the machines and yeah, just observing for now. Just kind of on the vigilant. What if something were to happen? What if more Modrons come? Something. We don't know what's up yet.
Yeah.
All the parts get tighter tolerances.
Yeah. So there's a moment.
Screws start being made better.
There's a moment where, like, you and Tao are standing there just watching all this happen, and a monodrone just walks by Tao, and Tao opens his mouth and makes this sound. Yeah, and
I didn't hear it.
Nobody heard it?
I didn't hear it.
No, I made that with my mouth.
I heard it.
Oh.
That sound? Yeah.
Sounds like robotic language.
It's something akin to a modem. It's kind of like that. But he just kind of makes that sound to a Modron as they're passing by, and the Modron doesn't pay him any mind, and he's like, well, I tried. Communication, not part of their mission.
Seems like they want... it would be unwise to think that they merely want to help us, but I am thankful of the benefit for now. Shall we keep a watchful eye on them just to... Let's see, machines working better.
Rick is like, well, if they're not getting in our way, I don't see a reason to stop them.
Keep your wits about. Keep aware of your surroundings so we don't get in their way. And let's keep doing what we need to do.
Yeah.
Let each other know if anything should happen.
Sure. The next day is a little weird. It probably, like, the monodrones get this place running pretty much better than you had it.
And they're working on the machine as it's printing and stuff.
Yeah, just like as it's working, like parts of the machine you haven't figured out yet. They're in there, tuning it and getting it working, and it's like, oh shit, that works now. That's gonna help. So the improvements they're making have effectively moved your timetable up a couple of days. Like, things are actually looking good, and they don't, like, there are a couple times when it's like one of you might accidentally be standing right in their path and not notice that they're walking by, but they just walk around. Like, they don't pay any mind at all. They're it doesn't seem like they don't particularly care what you guys are doing or anything. They just go about their business. And you guys eventually get comfortable with just getting back to work. And
basically, we almost become Modrons ourselves, working with the flow.
Yep. And I am going to. I'm going to say we're going to have another family skill check here. I'm going to say Arcana or Sleight of Hand. And I'm going to say make this roll with advantage.
Okay. Arcana Hey,
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So
25.
with the machines working much better now, you guys are kicking ass.
I
After
wish there were a way to thank them, but I don't want to get in their way.
yeah, they don't care. They have nothing to care about. So after futzing with the machine for a few days, it seems as though it is working at peak efficiency. Um, And right around the time that it looks like the Modrons might have like completed whatever it was they were setting out to do, a more serious group of Modrons shows up. This time, more monodrones, but also like a handful of duo drones like Tau, a couple of tri-drones, one pentadrone at the top of it. Seems a little more serious. And they also start to let themselves in. And it starts out being just like one random moment of tension, like, okay, now what the fuck is happening? But the trouble doesn't start until the monodrones start dismantling the airship. And that's when Ralos loses his temper.
And Brando is shocked too, like, crap. Like, how much of the airship would have been done by now?
The frame is done, and it was pretty much all logistics at that point. Just finishing the assembly, making sure all the parts work, getting this thing, skyworthy.
Great.
And it's at that time, yeah, your dad loses his shit. Grabs, you remember the Gatling gun he had you recover for him?
I'm trying to remember it.
Well, he had a Gatling gun, and
Brando is quick to try to stop him. Like, hey,
nope. He's not having it. He's like he's in full like get off my lawn at this point, and he starts blasting.
Heard that.
Yeah, I was about to say. I hope everybody heard
that. Yeah, Dad. Wait.
Fucking, dozens of monodrones start getting shot down. And when Modrons die, they actually like disintegrate. They just turn to dust. So he's just making dust clouds in this place.
Brando is trying to wrestle it out of his hands.
And then shit gets weird, and the Modrons start fighting back. And Rick is like, oh shit, goes for his guns and starts, and then it becomes like, okay, now we're a problem. And the Modrons know it, so you guys have to start defending yourselves. We're going to have another family skill check. This one is just going to be attack rolls.
Attack rolls? Mm-hmm. All right.
You see a duo drone die, and one of the mono drones gets upgraded.
So we have to defend ourselves. Guys, we need to get them out of the building, if anything. So we don't ruin our machines. But just attack rolls. Is that dexterity?
Sorry, mic's off. Yeah, if you don't, you could just make a D20 roll, because I know most of your stuff is saving throws anyway. So
okay, dexterity. That did not go well.
It's all right.
Again?
No, you're good. Yeah, you kind of like you're a little distracted between like trying to convince your dad to not murder a bunch of Modrons, but Dad rolled a 28, so he's doing God's work out here. Eventually, between like the three of you, you're able to drive them back, and then Axelrod helps you clean up and push all these Modrons like away from the factory. And you guys are just chasing them out the front door, guns blazing and whatnot. You all storm out, making sure that they're
is more so giving warning shots to clear them out.
Yeah.
Destroy
the ones that are not being just shot down are in full retreat. And all you run out, making sure that they're leaving. Ralos, throws a smoking gun on the ground in a huff. Like, he's absolutely fuming. And he's like, Axelrod, see it that we are not interrupted further. I don't care who approaches this building. They aren't welcome. Axelrod gives a train whistle of affirmation. Winds
and
up his...
Brando is at this point like, there is one possibility going through his mind on the motorman side, he grabs his dad's shoulders, shakes him, and like, what if they were trying to help in some way? Like, what if we had flaws in our plan and they were trying to build it better? What happened to a wait and see approach, sciencing it?
He's like, why would they care about what we're doing? And Tao is like, I'm actually kind of with your dad on this one. I doubt, I doubt Primus even knew what we were doing in here.
Is there any way that Primus would know what's coming on? Like, how many weeks have we spent here? Like,
you don't even know.
Time slipped by so much.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
to say that Alabar's not close by.
Axelrod starts like patrolling the grounds, like cannon on full spin, ready to knock something out.
Also, when we go inside, how's the machines? Did we damage any of it?
You get back into the building. Rick is already like at the machines, trying to undo damage that was caused to the ship. There's definitely like bullet holes in some of the machines, but none of them seem to be like broken beyond repair or anything like that. They were in very good shape, before the fight broke out. So,
I would still say let's tend to them. Let not a bullet clog up a cog.
Yeah,
that is needed.
Yeah, you guys can go through and make sure that none of that damage sticks. Just to, it would be worth it to make sure all those machines work anyway. Just because, like, you guys make record time when this whole machine is working well.
Yep.
So, the damage isn't great. It's nothing you can't deal with. You just need to go through and like check everything and sweep out all this debris and patch up all these holes. The damage that the Modrons did to the ship, nothing major, just some rivets that need to be replaced. So no worries there. You guys can be back on track in an afternoon, if you even know how long an afternoon is anymore. But Tao, like while you're all working on that, Tao is like, hey, bosses, I feel it is important to note Primus will not like that we just iced a good portion of his workforce. And Ralos, your dad gets real stoic when people compromise his work. So he gets real snappy about it. And he's like, I will not allow our work to be impeded, not when we are making such progress. I am willing to fight for it. And Tao holds up both hands and says, and I, for one, salute your tenacity. However, we're not just talking about handfuls of those rabble back there. When we start cutting down the quadrones, he'll send pentas, and then decatons, and then nonatons. And after that, Rodney out there is going to be fighting a losing battle. So, yes, we can fight this, but we cannot fight this forever. Primus has us outmatched.
Then Tao, what do you suggest we do? How can we somehow fix this?
I don't know. I don't know. And Primus will turn up the heat until it's too much for the five of us. Rick cuts in and is like, trusting in Tao's intuition here. Rick would be like, so how long do you think we have? And Tao says, that depends on how important this is. It's clear Primus definitely needs this factory for some reason. But if he doesn't need it this year, he could wait for us to leave. And if he doesn't need it this century, he can wait for us to die. And Rick is like, and what if he needs it today? And Tao is like, well, then we have slept our last night on Mechonis. And Ralos stomps on the ground and is like, no, we are not leaving yet. The ship can fly, but we cannot guarantee that it's ready for out there. He points out upwards.
The ship can fly?
It's definitely skyworthy, but there would be a whole process of like, let's see how high we can go before something goes wrong, and then bring it back and address that problem. And you guys are at a point where this ship is almost on. I mean, functionally, it can fly as well as any airship, but more than that, you can't really promise. And Tao says, so how were you all planning on leaving if you knew the ship wouldn't fly you home? And Rick digs through a pack, and he's like, this. He holds up an object. It looks like a round handle that just orbits around like a single empty slot. And he's like, this is a planar anchor. It's made out of metals from Eos. So we can slot one of those beacons in, and it'll send us right back home. And Ralos is like, yes, and it's for emergencies. I'm not prepared to leave the ship behind.
Brando's thinking of options. Even if it's not space ready, we cannot let the ship go. How long would it take to use this item in order to transport us out? Like, how much time would we have?
Oh, it's instantaneous. But it would just be the four of us.
Not even Axelrod?
No, he's not. He's either not small enough or not alive enough.
And the airship would have to be left behind?
And your dad is like, yes, which is out of the question. And Rick gets in closer and is like, it's either that or we're flying that thing home unprepared for whatever's waiting for us up there. And Ralos is like, he very torn between his own safety and this project he's working on. And he's like, we just need more time. And Tao goes, well, if you need more time, you better manufacture some bigger guns. The brothers just look at each other for a second with a silence hanging in the air, and Rick is like, that is a good idea.
Brando doesn't like the idea, but we need this. Like,
immediately the tone in this room shifts. Like the two brothers are back at it. It is a race against the clock now. Between putting the finishing touches on the ship. They are building large cannons, and they are sending them out for Axelrod to place them around the building. And before you know it,
engineered turrets.
Yeah, it's like that. Before you know it, like you're like, all we got to do is get this thing in the air. Like that's the best thing we can do right now. And desperately,
number one.
Mm-hmm.
And getting it into space can come later. Like, if we need to fly around and track down another abandoned factory and start from, not from scratch, but restore it somehow.
Yeah.
Something. Getting this thing in flight and
if there's any chance, if there's any chance to salvage this project, you got to fly this thing out of here and just hope.
Then Brando is helping all he can.
Yep. Yeah, you guys are back in full swing, and between putting the finishing touches on the ship and laying all these guns down, before you know it, all the work in the factory is being punctuated by the sound of distant gunfire. And throughout the entire process, Tao seems worried that this isn't going to end well. Like he's whether or not Ralos and Rick definitely don't clock this, and whether Brando clocks it is entirely up to you. But Tao is definitely in a mode of like, these halflings are out of their goddamned minds. Anyway, we are going to do another skill check. This can be Arcana or Sleight of Hand again.
Okay, doing Arcana.
This is it. This is the last one.
Normal?
It's just
Normal roll.
It's not terrible.
It's very good. It's very good. All three of you got good rolls on that. Skyfires are in it today. So coffee is the word of the day for the next 2 or 3 days. It's really not clear how much time passes. There isn't much of a day-night cycle on Mechanus, so it's just kind of like gray, smoggy skies all the time.
We have no idea of the passage of time.
Yeah, it's
despite
like
all the clock ticks.
Yeah, it's basically like, you're seeing like a bright sun that is trying but failing to get through the cloud cover, and it always looks like that. But none of you are interested in stopping at this point. And in the flurry of whirring and pounding, Tao approaches you kind of candidly, and he says, "Hey, boss. Not to alarm you, but I have been watching the fight outside, and just seeing who Primus is sending here, trying to get an idea of how serious Primus is about this place, and it's not looking good for us.
What are the numbers?
I give us 6 to 10 hours if I did the math right, which I did." Brando,
Rick, is it ready for flight?
You take a look at the ship. It's not a finished product, but it will fly. It might even fly through space. You don't know. But there's really only one way to find out. Best case scenario, you float home, the first halflings in space. Worst case, planar anchor will ensure all of your safety.
Can we spend more time up until the last hour before getting this up to better our chances?
You can spend every last minute.
And I don't think Axelrod will be able to fit on the ship, or even just cling to the ship, because we need his protection.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, he's out there fighting, and as long as he keeps doing that, you will have the leeway you need to escape. And Ralos, honestly, he clearly does not think of Axelrod as like a close friend. He's like, Axelrod will protect us while we run away. And then I will make another one. Yeah.
If we can make another one in time, I just want to use them in the final battle.
Yeah, Ralos feels no affection for this machine. He's like, it'll do its job, and then I'll build another one.
Brando, 6 hours at most, Tao?
He said 6 to 10.
6 to 10? Then we'll do it in 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get what we can, and Brando's going to leave Ralos and Rick to their things, but he's going to do something outside. And then once he's done it, he joins Ralos and Rick and helps them build what they can before they have to go. Kind of just timing it in his head.
Sure.
Or having Tao count down.
Sure. What's happening outside?
Brando set little things to disable the turrets.
Immediately?
In about 5.5 hours.
Okay, so you want the guns to stop shooting after you leave?
Yes,
Okay.
because even I feel Brando feels bad about mowing the Modrons down, but
Sure.
we have to do this.
Yeah, no, it's
If there
yeah,
was another
that's
way, he would do the other way.
That's yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say like the machine lets you build anything. You're like, yes, I can build a clockwork timer that goes off in a few hours and then it'll stop murdering these Modrons hand over fist. Yeah, easy to do.
Otherwise, Axelrod could put the turrets on the airship, which would be cool, but it might not allow the airship to fly. I'm not sure.
Okay. So
That would be up to Rallos and Rick.
in the interest of time, the next several hours go by. You guys budget your time very effectively. You make sure this thing can fly, just in time for you to make your way out with enough leeway that you're not endangering yourselves unnecessarily. So, going forward, imagine adventurous, triumphant music, in your head.
Construction, hammers banging, things going.
Rallos, Rallos, Rick, Tao, and yourself collect all your stuff. Pick up all the stuff you came here with, pack up camp, pack up all your, everything you don't want to leave behind. Board the ship. And you all somewhat clumsily get the ship underway. You've been building this thing for a while. You know it inside and out, but what you have not done is actually fly it. So it's like, okay, fuck, where's the throttle? Where's the thing? Trying to figure, all that shit out.
So I should say, instead of a timer, Brando has kind of a detonator.
Okay. Yeah, that works too. Yeah. Anyway, Rick runs to the machinery controls. You take up position at the helm. Rallos runs to the bow of the ship, kind of looking ahead, hanging onto the railing, ready to direct the flight. Rick starts cranking at controls. Machinery groans. The bay doors of the factory open, expelling an absurd amount of dust from disuse.
Also, probably from dead Modrons.
Yeah. There's a bit of a pregnant pause as all of you hold your breath at the moment of truth. And Rallos shouts, "Disembark!" And the levers are pulled, the clamps released, the engines spin up, the ship only drops a couple of feet. You all catch your footing. It flies. The gratification you feel is immense. Not that you doubted that it would fly. It feels good to be like, yep, there it goes, doing the thing that we told it to do. It feels real good.
Excited pitter patter.
Oh yeah, your heart's racing. It might be the coffee. It might be sleep deprivation. Who knows? Rick doesn't waste any time spooling up the engines, and it lurches forward, exiting the factory. And you fly out of the factory with the sound of battle raging on the ground below you. You can see a lot of Modrons, not really like paying you any mind, just trying to get past the defenses, with Axelrod covering your escape. And you disable those turrets, and pretty quickly you pick up on the fact that like without the turrets, Axelrod doesn't have very long. But he's clearly going to fight until the very end because that's what he was told to do. So the moment it's a little bittersweet. It's not perfect, but it'll do.
Well, Brando might ask Rallos like, "Hey, are you able to have him follow us, just in case we can't get off?"
How? Hey.
Just run after the airship. We're not leaving orbit yet. We're just making sure it flies now, and then we could maybe try and orbit, but if that fails, we fly back down. We find another location to try something.
Listen, Brando, I would have to be close enough for him to hear me, and I don't think we can get there in time. It's perfectly fine. Axelrod has served his purpose.
All right. Brando gives a salute to Axelrod, even if his father has no
There,
thing for the robot.
yeah, there's probably a moment of like Ralos looking at you and just being like, "Well, that's my son. He's an interesting fellow that I cannot relate to in this way."
And then we take off.
Now,
Like saluting a toaster.
now, ladies and gentlemen who are present, it is at this point in time that there are two very important things that the Skyfires do not know. They may never have the opportunity to put it together ultimately, but whether the characters know or not, I'm gonna tell you. The first is, of course, why did Primus suddenly need this factory so badly? The answer? It needed weapons. Very large weapons to defend Mechonis. Which brings us to the second thing.
Nope.
What
Brandon
did Primus...
was guessing that Alabar might be close by.
What did Primus suddenly need to protect Mechonis from?
Oh, did he get eaten?
Alabar?
Brando.
Woof.
Oh,
As the
Oh,
ship pulls away from the rotating
fuck.
cogs of Mechonis behind you,
Mhm.
the thick layer of smog clouds suddenly parts. The shadow of a sphere as broad as the horizon descends. Unrelenting, unstoppable. It plunges the ground beneath it into darkness. Mechonis is helpless for what's coming. It touches down, but you can't see it happen. You can only watch its dark shape obfuscate the world beneath it. You hear the distant sound of cogs as large as cities, broken free of each other, snapping off their axles, breaking apart, tumbling into each other. 4 slack jaws on the deck of your ship can only watch silently.
yep.
The devastation is impossible to fathom in this moment. And in witnessing the end of an entire world, the Skyfire brothers and their son are the first of Eos to witness the titanic horror that is Alabar.
As horrifying as it is, this is
Got a
also
picture?
epically awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I, in fact, do not have a picture. So
That's okay. It's even spookier.
Imagine
No,
that.
no, no.
In,
My mind.
imagine that in
Yeah.
your mind's eye.
The the movie in my brain right now, chilling. Giger-esque.
Yeah.
Literally as large as the horizon. No, you can't fit it in. Have you guys ever been to IMAX?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know something that's so fucking big that you can't actually see all of it.
Mhm.
Only twice.
Like I fucking like my eyes don't physically encompass that
Yeah.
much.
You have
like
to. You have to.
ocular space.
You have to turn your head to see all of it. Yeah.
And it's still ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Plus all the clocks falling.
Damn.
And with that, I think we will conclude this evening's celebrations.
That's